Hello, stream. I'm here. I'm here. I'm just tying up my hair. It's like really hot in my room. But I'm here. Isn't it amazing? There we go. Whew. Oh, heck. Let me turn my fan on real quick. It's like actually so hot in here. Now that might have to do with the fact that I'm like wearing long pants and like a black shirt on like a freaking hot day. But it's fine. You know, we'll survive. It'll be alright. Hi. Any moment now I can end stream. Well, that's terrifying. That's terrifying to think about. I think, you know, it'd be really funny. Here's what would be really funny. Toby ends stream. I say okay, and then I hit the end stream button. Like we don't have any build up or anything. I just end it. That would be like the funniest video ever. Heck. But I've said it now, so we can't do that. I've stopped the good idea from happening. That would be great. You'd have a streamless day. That's what I expected you to do when Strum ended the first time. I was tempted to do that the first time, but it's because I was like super invested in the stream. I was really invested in the stream. But I think from now on, when that gets like redeemed, I think that's gonna be my reaction. I think I'm just gonna say, oh, alright, bye guys, and then I'll end the stream. Like, regardless of what I'm doing, I think that's how I'm gonna play it off, because I think that's quite funny. Rather than us being sad for 10 minutes because it's gonna end, I'm just gonna end it for everyone. I think that's the better way to go about it. Anyways, hold on. Hello. Hello. Where am I? Yeah, sorry, I'm right here. I was just talking on the starting soon one, but I'm right here, chat, don't worry about it. I'm almost at 100k. Toby and I will soon be the sole wielders of chaos. Oh, goodness gracious. Yes, here I am. It is I. Alright, but regardless, chat, regardless of if stream will be cut short today, let's go over what we're doing today. Should the price double if Toby buys it? 200k? See, I don't know if I want it to double or if I just want to add 50k on every time. I think adding on 50k every time would be doable rather than doubling it, because then after that it becomes 400k and then 800k. Like, it goes up real quick. Bitchy, wait, we could potentially redeem so we get 4 comic pages. Holy crap, you're gonna work me to death. No, I'm kidding. That's exciting though. Comic page is always exciting. Why did you look different in the IKEA stream? Oh, that's because that wasn't me, that was IKEA. That was IKEA's little person that I made her. So when IKEA's on stream, we use her one, not my one. This is me though, chat. I don't have... I'm not... The other one's IKEA, not me. Or I redeemed 2 comic pages and PG in stream. Oh, goodness gracious. You guys are working together. Nice watch streak, bro. Anyways. I love the comic pages. It's as if it's the series score. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Hold on, chat. I need to go over what we're doing today. Chat, this is crazy. So I did say drawing and probably gaming. Now, here's the options we have, right? So I'm not gonna say I'm getting behind on the Patreon stuff, because I don't think I am. I did the October one, I did Tab's October one, but I haven't done his November one yet. Also, Milky has been subbed on the freaking Patreon for like 2 months that she didn't mean to be, so I said, well, you can have art now, so what do you want? And she wants me to draw her little character, so we could do Patreon art, which is drawing Milky's character, her, you know, her little green and blue little puffball guy. And then also drawing Nico, and I think it was a suit, I think is what Tab wanted, like a wedding outfit, but I can't remember if he said a dress or a suit. He said one of them. I'm gonna assume it's a suit. No, just really hope that it's a suit. And then, so we could do that, or we could work on Comic Page, which is Dawn of an Era Comic Page. Regardless of what we choose, though, we'll do some gaming afterwards, because I don't think I want to draw or stream, so that is what we have available. What would you guys like to do? Patreon or comic, essentially? Essentially are the options. Dawn of an Era. I have a feeling everyone is gonna say comic. I just have this feeling in my gut. Comic? Dawn of an Era. I knew it! I knew it, chat. Cool maths games! You know what, Snatchy, you're right. We should play cool maths games. With someone, we need to go play online Fireboy and Water Girl right now. Someone needs to come to my house so then they can use the other controls on my keyboard right now. How much are tickets to New Zealand? You must come. You should work on the Starlight comic? Isn't that comic finished? Or do you mean end of the line? Because that's a redeem. If you want me to work on end of the line, that's a redeem. Everyone wants a comic. I saw this coming. I know you very well, chat. Alright, we can do that. Cool math games that actually make for a banger stream. Play like the run games and the pizzeria games. Oh, that actually would be a great stream. We should make that sub-goal, actually. We should flag Omega Cam, and we should make it the sub-goal. Cool maths games. Or we make it a very expensive redeem. That would be fun. Cool math games should be a redeem, and then you get to pick a game from cool math games for us to play. I think that would be banger. Anyways, chat, I have to get us on the Clip Studio now. Ah! It's always me. It's always me. I don't know why it does me. Like, it does it, like, on its own. We just always get massive Koku content. Can I turn- that's not happening on Steam. No. There we go! Haha, Steam is always like this. To Koku, big Koku. Think a redeem would be worth, we need more good redeems. I agree. I think it should be not too expensive, maybe a 10k redeem. I think that'd be fair. Also, once I start going to, like, university chat, I'm definitely turning the price of redeems, like, lower, because it'll be, like, way harder to get a lot more points. So, stock up while you got them, because, you know, it's gonna be hard to get them next year. Oh my goodness, it's raining outside. I don't know if you can hear the rain, chat, but it's really loud. Koku always doubles. Did you color the future sailor and bandana drawing? Sorry if I'm being annoying. Oh no, don't worry, Rainy. I've not. I've been, like, super hyper fixated on, I've been super hyper fixated on Dawn of an Era. That's why I've been just drawing. I've, like, sketched 4 more pages of it, I think. Maybe 3. But I just keep sketching that comic, chat. You can see it all listed along the top. I just can't stop working on it. I'm, like, having so much fun drawing past Omega. Which is what we're gonna do now. We're gonna draw past Omega in the next page. How fun. What a good time we'll have. And then maybe afterwards we might do some Patreon stuff. And then maybe some drawing. I mean, some gaming or something. Hasn't it been since, like, the old days of Keiki that you drew like more than 1 comic pages in one day? Yeah, it's actually been a long time since I've drawn more than 1 comic page in a day. That's actually crazy. I don't know if I could track back the last time I did that, but that's when you know I'm very dedicated. That's when you know I'm, like, super hype about what's going on. Is when that starts to happen. So here we have the next comic page, chat. We love to see it. You know what I really appreciate about these comic pages? Just these ones about Omega? It's because, as you've noticed, chat, Omega doesn't really talk. He kinda just thinks. And there's a valid reason for that. But because he's just thinking, a lot of what's happening on the comic page, you can just see happen visually, if you know what I mean. Like, his thoughts are giving some little extra stuff, but you don't actually need him to be saying anything to know what's going on. Right? He doesn't have to think. I just think it's cool because I draw out all of these comic pages and I draw them and I'm like, alright, what the heck is he even gonna say? Because, frick, we already know what's happening just based on what we're saying. Cabin reveal, yeah. So I did a really bad sketch of a cabin, as you can see, which I don't really like. Maybe I do like it, we'll see. I don't think I'm gonna get to the background today. We might just do the character. We might just draw Omega completely. But, yeah, something like that. Is he mute selective? No. No, he's not mute selective. He is just mute at this point, but he can kind of get out some words, but it's a bit sore for him to have to do that. This to none narration and all visual. Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of visual. What happened to Omega in the chest? Yeah, I mean, he's kind of gonna mention it later on, or think it to himself, I guess. But, it's from the Ancient's downfall. During the Ancient's downfall, he, like, got an injury that made him mute. It was like, yeah, it was, like, something to do with that. Basically, he got an injury when the Ancients fell, and he is mute. That's what happens. It's what happens when you do epic fighting and you don't have your angel boyfriend to help you. That's what happens. Yeah, anyways. Koku, I'm cold. Oh, it's alright, Rainy. Anyways, let's do some work on this, shall we? My pin's been acting up a bit recently, as you can probably see. I wish I knew why. It just doesn't like me very much. There we go. Koku trying to not reveal lore while explaining things is just very cryptic. So, yeah. Yeah, it's hard. I have to explain this, otherwise they won't understand. Also me, but, spoilers. So tragic. I do what I can for you. Wait, is that crooked? Did that become crooked? It looks like it. Hold on. There we go. It was crooked. It's a hard life I lived, chat, but it's alright. Ah! No, he didn't have his boyfriend! No! This is so sad. That's why he lost, clearly. That's why the Ancients fell. Angel Lad wasn't there to protect them all, because realistically he carries every fight. Do Waddle Dees only live on planet Popstar? I mean, probably not, because in normal Kirby you can find Waddle Dees on like any other planet that Kirby explores. What I imagine is that a lot of the planets Kirby explores in like normal Kirby are like, it's like they're in their own little sector of the galaxy, right? So the galaxy has like different sectors in it, different sort of areas within the galaxy, you know? And different like species typically inhabit different parts of it. I imagine Waddle Dees just typically in like whatever sector of the galaxy Popstar and all of those planets Kirby's always exploring to like is. I just imagine that's like the Waddle Dee population. And of course we have the Lofi population elsewhere. And then many other creatures living in other places. Wayne with the tier 1 sub gift, let's go! Wayne is a real one for real though. Actually, thanks mate. Are Waddle Dees an invasive species? I don't think so. I don't think they grow. No, I don't think they leave their planets. But then it makes you wonder how they got to those other planets. I like to think that Waddle Dees weren't in control of like how they got to other places. This might sound sad, but I feel like they could have just been like taken to other planets via like a third party. Whether or not that's like by them wanting to be taken or forcefully be taken or just leave in the air. But I do think that no Waddle Dee has really chosen to want to explore space or like invade other planets. They just are kind of happy where they are. An ad, Wayne. Wayne gifting a sub and then wanting an ad. Whoa, spicy. I'm sorry, am I missing out on lore? I'm just talking about, like, planets and how Waddle Dees are not an invasive species and how they were probably kidnapped and taken to other planets by, like, some third party. It's sort of like parties like the Scavengers, you know? Because the Scavengers are like an amalgamation of a lot of different races. Like, parties like those, and then they just kind of end up on other places. And then maybe the ones that escaped, like, were able to form other civilizations there, you know? It's kind of like how they all got taken to, whatever planet Forgotten Land is on, wherever the frick that is. And then they just kind of start a civilization. None of them wanted to be there. They just all got, like, transported there, but then they start a civilization. It's probably like that, but, like, everywhere in, like, that sector of the galaxy. I spit someone random from the air. That's so funny. I think it was me. But technically that's how invasive species spread too, since foreign animals are taken not by their own will. Oh, that's actually true. By invasive, I guess I was thinking, like, they invade, like, they chose to invade. Like, it's like a conscious decision they're making to, like, spread themselves out. Like, that's what I'm thinking when I think of invasive. But maybe it's like... I guess it probably is still invasive, huh? Maybe they are an invasive species. You know what definitely is? I was gonna say Kabi aren't an invasive species, but I don't really know. Because they don't really have home planets, and they don't really settle as, like, a community of Kabi. I know that, like, majority of characters I show living in tribes and stuff are all Kabi, but I do imagine that the Gale tribe is not completely filled with Kabi. That, like, the main family is just Kabi, and then, like, majority of that tribe is, like, a bunch of different races. Because they're just a tribe that came together. It's not, like, a bunch of Kabi, I guess. Koku Susie probably took the Waddle Dees to the other planets! Susie totally did that. Susie actually traded, like, did, like, marketed Waddle Dees across the galaxy. And that's how she got funding after Popstar didn't work out. She was like, well, I'll just yoink some of these little guys. I'm sure some other planets would like them. And, yeah, I'll be on my merry way. You know, Waddle Dee trafficking probably is a very popular... No, I'm not going to say that. No, we're not going that far. I suppose I already went that far, didn't I? Ah, 13. Susie Deltarune? No, Susie Kirby. What? Clipped? No! No! Chad, how could you do this to me? That's the roseate marker. That's the wrong marker. I've always wanted to ask this. How in the dear Mother of Christ did Omega get all that stuff for the cabin, including said cabin? I imagine he built it. Because when I think of Omega, I think of, like, someone who is physically capable. Although he is quite, I will say, after getting his injury, he's definitely a lot disabled physically, which is kind of tragic because that's, like, the one thing he's quite good at. But I do think he still has some physical capabilities. He probably built it himself. I imagine it took him a long time. So at this point, Chad, I'll just kind of clarify the timeline. At this point, 1,000 years ago, the Ancients' downfall was like 1,200 years ago, so Omega's probably been on this planet for the odd 2 centuries or something. So he's had some time to make the house, regardless of how long it took him. Why not an igloo? I mean, I don't think... Probably because he wants to stay warm and an igloo might melt. He's not an Eskimo. I don't really know the purpose of living in an igloo. I know that he does make one for Kirby more as like a playhouse, and that's why Kirby's house is a dome in KK, but they didn't live in an igloo. That's not what happened. Omega living in an igloo. No! Not the igloo. He builds him like a playhouse igloo, you know? Just a little one for him to play in. Omega built Rome in a day. So real. What even is the purple thing in Omega's face? I'm behind on the lore. I mean, I've never really explicitly talked about this, but because we're here, you know, I'll talk about it. And I already kind of did before, but you weren't here, Deborah, so it's alright. Like I said earlier, it's a injury that he got from the Ancient's downfall. Now, really hard to pick up on because I give, like, little to no hints about the Ancient's downfall. I think the only thing that really hints at it is like this one specific morpho animatic that does show some of its events in it. But, like, other than that, I just really don't mention that downfall very much. But the Ancients did have a downfall. It's been, like, 200 years since then. He makes snow toys for Kirby. You know, I think Kirby might be the one making snow toys. I'm, like, trying to imagine the first time Kirby uses, like, his copy abilities. Like, probably by accident since he's a child. But obviously it's gonna be, like, Snow Kirby or Freeze Kirby. Like, it's gonna be one of them. And I can just imagine, like, Omega's shock. It's gonna be so great. Like, he's so confused about what's happened. Suddenly, like, his child becomes a little ice baby. Curse me for not watching the animations. That animation in particular is a bit hard to find. I think I did link it in a status once, but no, that morpho animatic's a bit hard to find. Not anymore, though, since it is on the Discord. I think I put I think I put that one on the Discord. I put, like, almost all my animatics on the Discord, basically. So, yeah, that lore is just sitting there. Fire Kirby ruins the cabin. No! I can actually imagine that happening. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Rip the cabin. Cabin-san did not last very long once Kirby came about. Yeah, it's on Discord. Okay, noted. Add Mettaton to the ever-growing list of plushies that are currently approaching my location. Let's go! Mettaton plush. We'd love to see it. I'm not really liking the shape of this egg, chat. And that's just appalling for me, because I'm an egg expert, you know? I've got to know how to draw egg. What else is my life if I can't draw egg? So, this is quite frustrating for me, to be unable to draw egg. I'm eggless right now. The world's sexiest rectangle. Brilliant. Takes Omega's 20 years to rebuild the cabin. Oh, you can't even joke about that, because that's just probably how long it took, right? Like, time is so different for them. 20 years probably feels like just not that long ago. Here we go. Explosion Kirby destroys the cabin Omega built again! Oh, this is what Omega's life is gonna become. He found this child, and now his life is becoming protecting his poor cabin from the nubs of Kirby. He's going to, like, use every single one of his copy abilities individually to destroy it somehow. Like, every single time, it's gonna get destroyed. It's gonna be like, it's like a cartoon, right? Like a kid's cartoon. And so every episode of the kid's cartoon, Kirby, like, finds a new ability. And the point of the episode is to learn the ability, right? And then by the end of it, every time Omega's cabin is destroyed. That's actually what would happen in that kid's show. This kids is why you don't have kids, exactly. Kinda off topic. Not really, I don't know. I feel like Bandana tries to be friends with everyone, including Susie, which probably led Meta Knight to stay away from Bandanity, and even more now, also DDD might make trade to Susie, for example. You give me 5 robots, you get 10 hammer abilities. I can totally see that. I could totally see that also as a reason why Meta would be a bit wary of Susie. But I will say, Susie and KK is a pretty... she's a little strange at the start, like in that other one. She's kind of sadistic, but at heart, she's quite nice. I mean, actually, I've just realized Susie's lore in KK, and I've actually just realized that's just not her. Susie's lore is, like, actually tragic. It's actually awful. It's not quite like how normal Kirby is. It's very different. And it's very tragic. Kirby freezing the cabin, slashing the cabin, filling the cabin with sand. Oh, poor cabin, just not catching a break. Okay, we've done that. Let's do this. Yeah, we'll do this. Come on, Omega. Susie lore? Oh no, do you guys want Susie lore? It's an interesting one, I will say. You cannot convince me that Meta can stand to be around Susie after what she did. No, he definitely can't. Which is quite funny, because, like, I feel like everyone's pretty accepting of Susie. Except for him. He just, like, has this bitter hatred towards her. For just, like, no reason. Well, not for no reason, but he's very traumatized, to say the least. Meta became a robot. That's really true. Then Maglore everyone hates him except for Kirby. Yeah, agreed. You can see the flames in Susie's eyes. Flames of what? I don't know, but they're flames, alright? So true. But yeah, no, Susie lore is, it's really sad. Because it's kind of like the opposite of, like, normal Kirby. So yeah, when was the Susie lore? Yeah, no, I'm gonna say it. So correct me if I'm wrong, chat, solely because I haven't really played Robobot properly, so sometimes the story goes over my head, but if I have it all correct, in normal Kirby, the story is that there was, like, some incident involving Susie and, like, Hman ages ago, and I think because he was trying to get Star Dream, right? And, like, she quote-unquote died or something, but, like, she didn't, because she's her there, but he doesn't know, or he's forgotten. And he's trying to, like, wish on Stardream to get back his daughter, but, like, she was there the whole time. If I'm correct, I think that's what the story is in normal canon, or it's, like, something similar to that. I know that, like, Susie is Susie, though. I want to be sad. I don't know if we have any Kirby lore experts in the chat, but, like, from my base knowledge, I'm pretty sure that's what the story is. Right. So in KK, Susie's totally dead. Like, actuals, like, that incident was an incident. And Susie the robot is Susie the robot. This is not Susie the daughter. And that's the story there. It's like actually Astro Boy. the Susie and KK is like actually Astro Boy. It's crazy. She's like not the daughter, but like once like trying to, you know, if you've seen Astro Boy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So in KK, words before the disaster. Yeah. Oh, here, let me save. There we go, I've saved. Astro Susie! Yeah, no, exactly. Thank you for the hydrate. I shall hydrate. But so yeah, Astro Susie. That's essentially what Susie is. And it's like, and if I did like a comic about Susie, or about Astro Susie, it would be so similar to Astro, like I kid you not. Like, I'd like to imagine that Susie kind of has this, like, thought that she is the real Susie for ages. But, like, in the shadows, Hman, of course, is just trying to bring back Stardream so he can bring back, like, his actual daughter. And Astro Susie is just, like, a stand-in, right? And then, like, the thing is, like, it's like how she learns the truth, you know? And that's why she would eventually go against Hman for learning the truth. Instead of, like, trying to save her dad, because, like, she's upset at him for lying to her. $100K! Oh, Toby's made it to 100K. Oh no. What can we expect? This is quite concerning, chat. Adios, chat. I think it's gonna end here. We're all gonna blip out of existence. Okay, so you made Hman have a somewhat heroic motive. I mean, is that what it is? Maybe. It's kind of selfish when you think about it, though, because he like made this thing, this like AI robot, to be a stand-in for his daughter that like he missed. I like to think that he wanted to try like recreate her. But then it didn't work, or at least he could never see Astro Susie as the real Susie. So of course he then goes to search for Stardream, but like Astro Susie just like never really knew why, right? She just kind of thought it was normal, and that's why she does all of the things that he does. He is like not the best person, because he does still kind of go down that deranged path. Toby's Bears, please or don't, your choice. It's a really complex situation, but I quite like the story of Astro Susie. I don't know why, I just kind of enjoy that take. I think it's a cool take. That, like, he lost her, like, ages ago, and that's why he's evil. I mean, I suppose that's why he's evil in, like, normal Kirby, because he thinks he lost her, but the fact that he actually did is, like, crazy. I'm assuming he still did in KK. I mean, I think so. I think Robobot more or less goes the same. It's a little bit different though, because if you've seen the Kirby, not the Kirby, sorry. If you've seen the comic sketches I've done of like what Robobot would be like if it was KK, you might take notice that a lot of the security or just things in general, especially in the I think it's the third little strip I did of it, you've got to, like, kind of be onto it to take notice, but you might notice that, Hman's security system doesn't attack Kirby, and it's, like, it specifically is aware of who Kirby is. And I'm not gonna say any more than that. Other than that does change a few things in, like, the actual game, in, like, KK. Thought that said end! Oh gosh. Now I don't have 100K? Oh, because you blessed the strum? That's so funny. The day is saved. Did Hman ever get regular Susie back? That would make for a really sad interaction. That would be quite a sad interaction. The thing is that because, like, I'm pretty sure the event is that she got sucked into, like, some dimension portal or something. I don't know. I think I've just seen, like, artists' visual representations of it. But, she might be dead, though. She might just be gone, though. Because it would be a little bit awkward to bring back the real Susie when all of the character development I'm putting into the story is for Astro Susie. So I think it would be, we need a bit of tragedy, right? I think she's gonzo. I think that's how it needs to be, chat. But you'll love Astro Susie just as much, it's alright. She gets a bit sadistic for a bit, but I promise she gets better. She gets better as she realizes that she's not who she seems she is, right? Is any of this, like, written down somewhere, or are you improving this law? Is it written down? I only really write down my comics. this isn't, I wouldn't say this is written down, but this hasn't changed in 2 years. Like, this is lore that I've just had for at least 2 years. Like, when I first wrote that first page of, like, the Susie being the what KK is like as, Robobot, like that comic, that first page, nothing has changed since I've drawn that first one. The idea hasn't changed at all, so I don't think you don't need to worry about me, like, not writing it down, because it's been the same for ages. Hman wishes upon Star Dream, and all that comes back is dead Susie, and he merges with Star Dream. Oh no! That can't be good. That can't be good at all. Well, because here's the thing, chat. Here's the thing. So the Star Dream, it's very different in KK. It's very different. Koku, listen to Eva. I've made that mistake. What mistake? What is Eve saying? You should write all this down in case you forget. That's so true, I should, but you've got to understand, chat, that would actually be a novel. If I wrote down all of my KK ideas, I'd actually, like, all of my plans for lore, it'd actually be a novel. I don't know if I can properly, like, write it all down. It's so much. Maybe one day. Can you please answer my question? Oh, sorry, Rainy. Where is it? Who is Bandana Dee's parents? Biological parents, not DDD. Probably just some random Waddle Dees living somewhere. I don't imagine his parents, like, are, like, insanely, like, they stick out too much. I imagine they're just, like, some Waddle Dees, right? Unlike DDD, who's, like, a literal orphan, whose parents frickin' probably died. Is the implication of the... That's the implication of the writing I did anyways. The implication is that they're freaking dead. And DDD's like some orphan. The lore is too interesting to end it here? That's so fair. Hi, Aestus. But yeah, no, so here's the thing. Let me go back to talk about Star Dream just for a smidge, chat. With the lore that we already have about Star Dream. Koku, you need to have the KK novel be the first Patreon exclusive work. So true! That's actually what I'm gonna do now. Thanks for that idea. Now, thanks for that. You've just given everyone a lot of pain. No, I won't. I won't do that. I hate having content locked behind money. That sucks. Like specific content that is like pretty important. I would never do that, chat, don't worry. It's all on this is all on free platforms, free availability. It'll all be on Toy House one day, I just need to write it, it's okay. No. Anywho, can we come up with the Mid-Night's backstories? I mean, yeah, if you guys want to come up with random character backstories that I'm not too that fussed about, go for it. I like the Mid-Nights in particular. The only one whose, like, backstory I've slightly thought is, like, Javelin Knight, because it's, like, clear he has a thing for Sailor. That's, like, the only thing, though. I've not really thought about anything else. What was I saying about Star Dream? I wanted to see Omegaon pay $20. Koku becomes a billionaire. Yes. That would be a fun Discord event, to be honest. Making, like, little stories for some of the Mid-Nights. That would be cool. Anyways, what was I saying about Star Dream? Oh, right. So, Star Dream's actually pretty different in, like, normal KK. It's very different, and you can probably already guess that it's very different because Star Dream appears in Mid-Night in Blue Rose, right? That's already like, wait, what? That's a wait, what moment. And there's like clear that there's some sort of like, the ancients made Star Dream as they made Nova, right? And the Star Dream Nova, it's interesting because the Star Dream Nova and like Star Dream are like pretty intertwined. which I think is not the same as, like, normal Kirby. I'm pretty sure they're very different things. Star Dream and, like, the Nova are very different. But they're pretty similar in KK. Oh. How exactly did they make no, bro, what is the Ancients' motive? To probably rule part of the galaxy because that's probably what they're, well, okay, actually, it's actually different than you realize. So the Ancients' goal, it's hard because it kind of changes, and it does change specifically after Reverence is gone. Because the Ancients all followed Reverence in KK, and Reverence's goal, he says what his goal is, it's to find the divine. That's what his goal is, or at the very least, that's what his and Lemnon's goal was, together to do that. And then Lemnon sort of backstabbed and left, for a butterfly. And so Revy felt heartbroken, I guess you could say that, but still wanted to try and do the thing that they wanted to do. And then tragically mistakes Void Termina as the divine, which is just not quite the right deity, but it is a deity, I guess. It's actually funny, both Lemnon and Reverence kind of mistake the same deity as the divine. So you know what? Maybe Void is just that similar. Fortnite X Lego, amazing. Did he have a plan once he found the divine? I believe he wanted to use the divine's power with, it's kind of like because he worships the divine, right? He does think this power to be above him. I think him and Lemnon wanted to use the divine's power to create things like beyond human human, or just like anything's like belief, right? To create these amazing things that would probably meant to like benefit people. But he gets a bit corrupt along the way, and he kind of loses sight of that. Also, imagine getting dumped for a butterfly. No. Wait, it gets worse. Imagine getting dumped for a butterfly that actually is a super abusive, well, not abusive, but like, is like the worst friend ever. Because at the time, I kid you not, chat, Morpho is not a nice friend. He's an awful friend for real. Because he's still very set on his, like, goal and his quote-unquote destiny. Like, he literally doesn't care about Lemnon. Lemnon just, like, wants to help him because I don't know why. I think he has some belief in Morpho's destiny, but at heart he wants to be cared about, but Morpho doesn't care about that. Morpho's like, I just have to do my destiny. What's that? You want to help me? Sure. Fine. Sure. Sure, I guess. Morpho is really a bad friend. No, he is. He's an awful friend. Of course, Morpho does make up for it later on at a very, very expensive cost. But, yeah, no, he's not the best friend to start off with. Careful what butterfly you become friends with. They're not that great. Remember what you said about Susie selling Waddle Dees? What was Susie doing in the 800s? Oh, no. Look, Susie was doing shenaniganery, that's all I can say. We don't need to know what specific shenaniganery, just that it was indeed shenaniganery. So why does Morpho save Lemnon if he didn't care for him? Oh, it's like this whole thing. So, it's like this whole thing with being a Radiant Kabi, or part Radiant Kabi at least, that, you know, you can't feel regret. It's just a thing because you have a Ru, because you're not supposed to feel regret because you've got to focus on your quote-unquote destiny. Thus, Morpho can't feel any regret for his actions, nor can Aeon, literally ever. Aeon does so many awful things that he just doesn't regret because he just has a Ru. It's awful. But the thing is that if you confront your Ru, and you learn what it is, you can actually take back your regret. It can be returned to you. And so that's what happens to Morpho, and then he kind of realizes he's been like a dick. And And then he tries to make it up to Lemon. Popping in to say hi. Hi, Aquarius. Does, by that logic, mean that Kirby has a Roo? See, I've thought about this. And I'm gonna say maybe. Because I'm not sure. Because Kirby is a pretty emotive person. He does give a lot of like, he is quite emotive. I don't think at first he would, but he does later on get, like, the actual blessings that Morpho and Aeon have, so at that point he might. I wouldn't be surprised. But definitely not for a long while. I don't think he would. And if he did, I don't think he would live, like, senselessly not knowing it, because by that point, Morpho and Aeon would both know that's a thing he's gonna get. Let's sort this out before it becomes a problem, you know? They've had to suffer so that Kirby doesn't have to suffer. Basically. Okay, that's good. Foot! Oh, what the... Are you kidding me? I just didn't do those middle lines. Do I get that distracted, chat? I just didn't do these middle lines. I just get so distracted for real. I don't know when I was meant to do these, but I never did them. Here we go. And one more. There we go. Gosh darn it, chat. Ah! Having a room means no regrets. Exactly. Sorry, can I ask you if you can read my question? Oh, sorry, Rainy. Sorry, Rainy. I keep talking about stuff. Also a question about the regret. Is it like you can't recognize what you're doing is wrong, or you can recognize what you did was wrong, but you just don't feel guilty for it? I think it's probably the former. You don't recognize what you've done as being wrong. You're gonna, like, find some sort of justified reason for it. Even if that reason is also wrong, in the head of the person doing it, it's not. So, it's not that they don't care, it's not that they don't realize it's pain. Like, Aeon, because it's like Aeon himself isn't aware that he's not regretting these things that he does, or Morpho isn't aware that he's not regretting these things he does, until it comes back to them and they're like, oh, wait, that was awful, actually. Anyways, let me go find Rainy's one. I think Trident Knight is a Waddle Dee and possibly a Sailor's older sister. Trident Knight is a girl? Crazy. Because there is not enough female Midnights? That's fair. I don't know. I mean, technically there's no female Midnights. There's normally, I think Sailor is one of the only one who sometimes gets portrayed as a chick. That's an interesting one. But that's all I'll say, really. Kin slaps Morpho. You better get your butt back in there and fix that mess of a friendship you have with Lemon right now. Yeah, yeah, that's really true, actually. Here's the thing that's tragic, though, chat. To meet your Roo, like, because you've got to meet your Roo to sort out your issues, right? Right? Like, that's how it works. To meet your Roo, you freaking gotta go to the in-between. How the frick are you gonna get there if you don't die? Like, Morpho and Aeon are pretty specific cases where they've died several times and have had, like, chances to go meet their Roos, but, like, frick, not everyone is like them. Imagine other people having Roos, literally having to take their, like, live their life like this because they don't die because they can't meet, like, it's just, like, it's such a rigged game. What kind of cruel joke was Radiant playing? Aeon's got it covered because he dies every afternoon. That's actually so true. It's so true, man. It's so real. Although, as you may notice, chat, Aeon definitely, you can tell when he's talking to Foe in Night with this in mind. You can tell that in AV when he's talking to Foe is like trying to tell him something. He's trying to tell him that he's his regrets. Like, you can see it. That's like what he's leading up to. But then Aeon frickin' is like, nah, I don't want to hear your crap. You're my enemy. You're my quote-unquote foe. And that's why he's called Foe, because Aeon is freaking too stubborn to hear anything he has to say. Because Aeon is just way more concerned about getting back to his boyfriend. He's like, no, I have to go see Omega. No! No, I'm not listening to you, no. That's literally what Aeon is like. Oh, mate. Boyfriend? No, I just keep making that joke. It's alright, Chad. Don't worry, I'm just joking. I keep making that joke. So, how does Kirby deal with his Rue? Also, is Shadow Kirby's Rue? That would be interesting, and you know, I was considering that for a while, but Shadow Kirby can't be Kirby's Rue because Shadow Kirby exists in the real world. And Rues are like dead. They're like dead beings that live in the... They're like, well, they're not dead, but they're not alive either. They're just like feelings that just live in the in-between, so doesn't quite fit the description. Boyfriend. Gosh dang it, Koku. We were so close to making that ship canon. Look, chat. Here's what I'm gonna say. There's my word, and then there's my word about that ship, which is always gonna be haha hee hee hoo hoo, I don't know. That's always gonna be my word. And then there's what's happening in the comic, right? Now the comic is canon material, so I would just focus on what's going on in the comic and then make your decision about what's real and what's not, right? That's what I would do, because my word means nothing. My word actually means nothing until it's in a comic. So then, do you have an idea for what Kirby's Rue would look like? Yes I do. I actually think I might have drawn what it might potentially sort of look like. Except I gave it white eyes and it's supposed to have black eyes, so I probably need to change that. But I did sort of have an idea. Had some sort of idea, and his Rue I think would be called... What did I say? I said something. It was like a... It was a word. It was a certain word. I don't want to open it. I don't want to open the file, but I just want to find it and see if I can... remember. Ah, Aurora. That's what it was. Now, there's a really funny quirk, chat, with Kirby and the word Aurora. And I actually had to do actual butterfly research for this chat. This was crazy real-life research I did. It's crazy. It's because, now, Kirby and Morpho are both within the Morpho butterfly spectrum of butterflies, I guess you can say. So is Silver, but we just care about Morpho and Kirby for this. And under the spectrum of Morpho butterflies, I labeled Morpho as the sunset Morpho. Now, I can't remember if that's specifically what it's called, but it's the sunset Morpho butterfly, essentially. And there's another one called, like, the Aurora Morpho butterfly, which is representing dawn or something. And so, you may now come to realize why it's called Dawn of an Era. Because Dawn is like Kirby's whole entire association as a butterfly. He's super associated with it being dawn, and Aurora being associated with like dawn, and of course Morpho's like the dusk, right? That's their sort of thing they have going. And so when I really have regrets because I have Morpho's comic called The Radiant Star, but I actually really want it to be called something to do with the dusk instead. So I might end up changing the name of that comic just because I've hardly even gotten into it. But, yeah. Just a fun little thing about Kirby and Butterfly. It's that his one's Aurora specifically. And the Aurora butterfly has like, it's like white wings, but Kirby doesn't really have white wings. I think I tried to draw him with white wings for a while, but it just didn't work. Kirby looks way better with blue wings. So much better. Let's keep drawing this lad. So what happened to the Larum comic? Are any of the scraps comics canon? Yeah, you can probably still take them as canon, but actually what I've done, or what I'm doing, is I'm actually writing that story as a novel. I have so many novels, chat. I'm writing that story as a novel, and it is a little bit different to the comic. Just a little bit. There's some extra dialogue, there's a little bit more going on. Just a smidge, and kind of the timeline has changed a little bit. I'm pretty sure, but regardless, it is still very similar. I really want to, I mean, it's obviously different because Kinma isn't considered his kid anymore, so that's obviously been changed. But yeah, I really want to release that novel that's gonna be kind of it's gonna take the spot of that, because I want to make all of these comics, chat, but it is so hard. Because they are so long. This is why I want to focus more on the little short 5 comic pages comics, because I can just draw simple stuff with that. So Morpho is the sundown butterfly, Aurora is a sunrise butterfly. Kirby is also a sunrise butterfly. Yes. Well, no, it's not that Aurora is a sunrise butterfly. It's that Aurora is the butterfly that Kirby is. It's kind of like another name for Kirby, if you want to be that specific. It's not a different person. But Aurora, I suppose, would probably be the name of his Rue. But Aurora, I guess that would make Aurora a different person, but it's like a part of Kirby still. Speaking of novels, we need them more chapters. We need more chapters. Yes, chat. What do you want me to make? Do you want me to make comics? Do you want me to make novel chapters? Do you want me to make dub content? Do you want me to make Q&As? Do you want me to do gaming content? What do you want from me, chat? There's so much. It's really hard because I really want to work on all of these things, but I just never have the time for it. And I feel like I'm slowly running out of time. It's really unfortunate, but I think regardless, I'm always gonna try my best to work on these things. It is really hard at times, though. Omegaon. It would be cool if Kirby's Rue is an amphibious being that is ever-changing to everyone he's ever met, and all the regret that comes with knowing them to affect his copy ability. That's actually quite interesting. I actually kind of like that. Aeon's Rue, how he looks is actually quite interesting. So Foe kind of originally had horns that were very similar to Aeon's and has black wings. That's kind of this sort of like Death Angel kind of vibe. That's what the thing, because he's an angel, so it's like the Black Angel, you get it. Although I kind of want to retcon the fact that I made his wings super tiny, because I actually liked them better before when they were big. But, we'll see. But then his horns kind of change, and you may notice this, but Rue's horns actually have the same little stripes that Omega's have. And that's because this is not something you'll really notice, but, you will in that one animatic I made, because there's, like, an animatic about AV, and specifically it shows his horns, like, change. But his horns are like different because Omega held in the blessing for ages, and it like kind of affected Rue a bit. But that's why that's a thing. But I actually really like that idea. And then like Morpho's Rue is like what is he, a dragonfly? And I think I looked this up. It's because dragonflies and butterflies have something that's in opposition or something. I remember looking it up because I looked before deciding on dragonflies. There's a reason he's a dragonfly. And I actually do really like that one for Kirby, that it's kind of a thing that has this ever-changing form, right? It's not really one thing, it's a lot of things. Aurora wouldn't really have a set thing, because that's so much of Kirby's life, isn't it? He's always changing. And I think that's why he gets so much anxiety when he's older, right? Because he doesn't really want to change, right? He gets to the point where he just wants to be back on Dreamland, just like being the same. He wants to be really stagnant in his life. He's sick of changing and growing up, but like he's always changing. Oh, come on. Hold on. Hold on. Here we go. And I think that's really interesting to make his Rue kind of reflect that part of himself. Why did I not watch the animations? It's alright. The animations probably tell way too much. I spoil so much in the animations. I keep having this animation in my head that I want to make, and it's a, what is it? It's about Aeon. It's like literally an animatic that would be about Aeon, most of Aeon's life, and I'm just like, I can't make this. This is like a massive spoiler. Not kind of. Some of it they already know, but not all of it. I can't make this. But I'm just sitting there like, oh, but I really want to make this. It's really tragic. It's like how when I made that stupid animatic about Butterfly Kirby frickin' with Roseate, and I was like, this isn't gonna be relevant for literally years. I shouldn't make this. And then I made it. It's so hard to have restraint, chat. So kind of like Void, I kind of like that. Koku is a Mikeon canon. Like I said, look at the comics. The comics will reveal all. Not me, because I can say yes to that. I could say yes to that, and I feel like the way I've been drawing things in the comic is maybe hinting at a certain outcome to that. Actually, this page is also hinting at a certain outcome. Look at this. He walks into his house. Look at this. Here's another thing of me pointing out the obvious, right? He walks into his house that he's had alone for 200 years. And like Aeon's been gone for longer than that. He's probably been gone for like 2,000 years from his life. Who was that on the wall? Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I'm very obvious with the direction this is going. You make the comics, you make the law, you make the designs. No, my word means nothing until it's in a comic, though. Until it's in official media. Aeon, I'm in your walls! Yeah, no. So yeah, I think that, I feel like the direction I'm taking there kind of I feel like the direction I'm taking their sort of comedic, like, friendship is the way I'll put it at the moment, but I feel like the direction I keep taking it in with, like, Alpha being, like, really, like, you know, teasing them and stuff like that, I just feel like it's obvious what direction I'm taking it in, chat. Surely you know, chat. What happens with King Dedede in the future after Kirby and Meta leave, but before Captain Waddle Dee? I don't know specifically. I know that Dedede does hang out on Dreamland for quite a while longer, but I think he kind of he doesn't like want to leave because Dreamland's all he's known, right? But I feel like now that like Kirby's gone, Meta's gone, it's probably at the point where Bandana and because if you don't know, chat, Dedede gets like super long-living stuff from Dark because they're kind of from Dark Matter, or shall I say Fluffy, because they're super intertwined. So he does sort of get that I'm gonna live longer than everyone afterwards, after that. And he becomes pretty stagnant. So I do assume that he would eventually leave. Probably him and Dark / Fluffy are gonna go do Dedede and Fluffy adventures, I assume. That would be a great comic. The Adventures of DDD and Fluffy. We need that. I think that should happen. DD depression. Yes. Aeonix Omega potentially canon? Potentially. I'll say that I'm being a little more lenient with joking about it, like pretty within canon standards. So I think we could probably be a little more relaxed with saying it's a thing than saying, oh, but it's just a joke. Because I do see a lot of people get kind of defensive about that. Like that it's a joke thing. But I mean, we can just be chill. And just enjoy the epic two lads living their best life. Because it's the best, like, when they reunite, man, that's just the best. I want them to have a happy life together. It would just be great. It kind of feels like Alpha's the third wheel, and then Delta's the fourth wheel. Yeah, no, that's true. I imagine if they, like, ever, like, in the past, if they ever had to go on, like, missions as a 3-man team, and, like, Aeon and Omega is on that mission. Heck, man, whoever is that third person, whether it be Alpha or Delta, that's just a sad-o moment, because they're just gonna be getting left out. There's gonna be, like, inside jokes getting said that, like, they don't understand. There's gonna be, like, backdoor flirting that's, like, super... like behind the curtain that like he just like that's like you kind of don't know if that's what it is, but you're just gonna be quiet because it's a bit awkward. Like that kind, like I feel so bad for Alpha. That's so tragic. Dude, you're just trying to do their job. No, Delta just doesn't want to be there. No, actually that's true. It doesn't matter who he'd be sent out with, he doesn't want to be there. He's just like, oh freaking I'm so over this. Now I want to see them reunite, like, show me the feels. Have you not seen that one animatic? That is not the canon of how they reunite, but heavily inspired by how they will reunite. Because it won't go exactly like that, but I do imagine it's something akin to that. Which is supposed to be, like, after the primal fight. But it's something akin to that, is how they will probably reunite. Kirby would be so sad when he does the top shot because Bandana D, Kukan, Chichi, Pitch, Parasol D are all dead. Oh, it's tragedy. That's the life I think that's what's hard, and I think that's why Kabi try to just stay within their own species, right? This is why a lot of Kabi stay within their own species, because it's really sad to have connections with people who are not Kabi, or are not of a race that lives for a very long time. An example of a race that does live for a very long time are the fairy people like Ribbon. Ribbon and all of the fairy people live for not as long as Kabi, but still pretty freaking long. So that would be safe. You could be friends with the fairy people as a Kabi, you'd be safe. You'd still be able to hang out with them for at least a millennia. Cool. But if you're friends with a Waddle Dee, dang, you've been friends with that person for like a day in Kabi years. Like that's crazy. At least Kirby gets to like hang out with their like descendants though. And I like to imagine that their descendants just kind of remind him of them. Or maybe that's why Kirby doesn't really go back to Dreamland, right? Because he just wants to remember Dreamland as it was, right? He doesn't really want to visit it because it'll be so different when he goes back. So he's like, I won't go back, and I'm just gonna have all of these great memories of my friends. Ugh! Bro, what the heck is Adeline's lore? Like in KK or normal Kirby? Oh, and possibly Megalo, Mox, and Taranza. Are they going to kiss when they reunite in the animatic? I don't know. Who knows? That's in the air. That's in the air. And I will say though, from a story standing, probably not, because it would be a little bit awkward if like they like haven't seen each other in 2,000 years at least. and literally what their first reaction is to kiss? No. I don't think that's right. I think that's like, especially not when Aeon's like just woken up from like being dead again. I feel like that's, if they did, it would be in the aftermath, like when everyone is like not right there. Probably. Like if we're talking from a proper storytelling standard. Because for the animatic, I just did it because animatic, man, we gotta have some cutesy stuff in it. Explain Ado? Alright, sorry. There's like 10 different questions going on, chat. I'm trying to get through them. I'm trying. Ado, right, Adeline. Adeline's a person. Probably came from Shiverstar. Shiverstar's Dunzo. Grows up with fairies. I don't know if she becomes pot fairy or not, or what happens. I don't really think anything happens, to be honest. But she's not the only human on Popstar, though. There's like that other person with like the monkey in Dreamland 3. That's another person. Maybe she hooks up with them. I don't know. I just don't know. All I know is that she probably doesn't live for thousands of years. And Ribbon probably hangs out with like an Adeline descendant. Ado and Adeline? Are they not the same person? I thought Ado was just like a different name for Adeline. Also he wants to continue living in a dream by not going back to Dreamland. Oh, I really love that. I love that, yeah. That's so true. That's what he's doing. He wants to keep living in a dream and not return to Dreamland. Yes. Besides, Dreamland's doing fine without him. Like, Dreamland has like 3 other Kirbys there. They have Sunny, Ruby, and Dilly. They're fine. They don't need Corby, even though they have like a lot of, they do have like a lot of legends around Kirby and like the way future. But like, I imagine that Ruby, Dilly, and Sunny are just like, yeah, we know Kirby, and they're probably like hailed as like these like ancient things, and like Ruby, Sunny, and Dilly are just hanging out like the exact same as Kirby. Like I just can't get over it that they're just so normal about it. Future Kirby slowly becoming a Mori. Ado and Adeline, we don't know. It's the dumbest mystery of the Kirby franchise. Okay, I see. Maybe Ado is Adeline's brother. Who knows? Twin brother? That'd be crazy. Twin brother moment. Off topic, but I love both. And then when Kirby dies, he gets reunited with his best friends from the past. How nice when he dies in 50 million years. No, I'm kidding. They don't live for that long. But yeah. And Kirby's kind of in a pretty tricky spot in the future when you think about it. Like the future when he's a butterfly, like when you think about it. If you've not seen the animatic, I won't get into it. But he's kind of in a pretty difficult situation in terms of how alive he is. Off topic, but I love the idea of one of the characters discovering their ancestors were a part of a tribe and then discovering they got annihilated. And go through, okay, I imagine the characters trying to discover where they came from and their identity, etc. So to learn they were born too late to be a part of their ancestors' culture, etc. It's just the perfect amount of identity crisis. I'm not gonna lie, that really sounds like Omega. That really sounds like Omega. Like, chat, have you realized why Omega is so angry all the time in the past? Do you know yet? I've realized you don't know because he hasn't talked about it in Eternity's End yet. But when he does eventually talk about it, you'll be like, oh, no, that makes sense. Why? Maybe because he has, like, this really traumatic backstory of his entire people getting annihilated, with him believing that he's the, you know, sole survivor, and has no knowledge of their history or anything, and believes his whole family to be dead also, and is, like, very bitter and angry at the cause of the annihilation of his tribe, which isn't dark matter, by the way. It's a different thing. And is just very upset. And takes it out on everyone. Character theme. Omega character theme? Alright, let's do it. Where is it? Where is it? Ah! Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's deep. Omega's past is deep, and he's real upset about it when he's younger, but he kind of moves on from it when he's older, and kind of accepts the fact that everyone in his family is dead. How many generations is a descendant? I'm confused. How? It could be a lot. It depends who you're talking about, because I would say that Omega is a descendant of Tora. I would say that, but like Tora's only his great grandma, so. It depends how many generations you want to go. Like, she's only his great-grandma, but just with how many years have gone by, I would consider him her descendant. I just realized no music has been playing up until this point, or maybe I'm just deaf. Maybe the music was just quiet. Do all of the Ru have the same or similar color scheme? Because that would be really cool, and that the only difference between my headcanon aura is that they're different morphs or mimics of other people Kirby's met is the color scheme. Kind of like, oh, I see! That is true, they do have a same color scheme. So the color scheme of the Ru is typically they're gonna have white skin, black eyes that have no pupils in them, just black dripping eyes. It just looks like void eyes from Hollow Knight. And then, typically any other features they're gonna have on them is gonna be like a very dull blue or black. Grayish. They're very monotone in color, and their color scheme is monochrome, sorry. Super monochrome color scheme. I want to do them flat black and white because I have this little bit of blue added to them and a little bit of like colory gray. I kind of just want it to be flat black and white. I think that would be cooler. It'd really feel like they're from a different dimension if they were just flat black and white color, like monochrome. Also, what happened to Omega's floof? Everyone else has floof except him. I need the floof. I thought he does have floof. Dude just uses that good gel. Oh yeah, I remember. I remember drawing that. Yeah, no, that's totally what happens. He does have floof. It's just he uses gel. Yeah, no, that's so real. Take that as the canon because that's totally what it is. I think that is so funny. Bro just uses that good gel. I like to think, like, if Aeon, like, got his, like, glove, and then, like, when, like, you know when you, like, pat backwards, and then you, like, make all your hair, like, flick up? He does that with Omega, and then it all just, like, flicks up. How many generations between Divinity and Captain D? Probably quite a few, because, I think Captain D was on Dreamland roughly 700 years after Kirby left. I think that's when. It might be a bit less than that. It might be 500. If people are having kids roughly every 20 years, which they probably aren't, I'm gonna say 30. 3 generations can happen in like a century, probably. Probably more, but I'm gonna say 3, just so we're not going crazy. Probably 15 generations of Waddle Dees have occurred. Wow, a lot of years, yeah. There's one Omega drawing that just looks so much like he's bald to me. Oh no, not bald Omega. Omega does look bald sometimes, but see, because his horns are there, he doesn't always look bald. But I do like to imagine he's like got some floof, but it's just always down. It's always down. I just love that idea because it's not a very I like to think he's self-conscious about it, right? Because that's not a very normal trait for Kabi to have. Like literally, Kabi they're not usually fluffy. That's not. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna answer if they are fluffy or not, but they just don't typically have very big floof like his family lineage has. I think it's really funny if he's self-conscious about the fact that he has floof. How long has Omega raised Kirby for, and how long has Kirby been drifting in space for? Oh, that's actually a good question. I didn't know for a while. For a while, I was in my head thinking, alright, he raised him as practically an adult, and then he's only been drifting for not that long, and then went to Dreamland. But ever since I kind of thought that, I was thinking, probably not, though. I actually like to imagine that he probably only raised Kirby for maybe 500 years, and just for, like, just to maybe a little bit longer than 500 years. It was probably 600, actually. Just because 500 is when, that's when Galacta got taken away by Stardream, and that wouldn't line up with the events of that if Kirby was still there. I wasn't there, I mean. But, I like to imagine that, so about 600 years he looked after him, which, if you look at Meta and Asbel at that time, they're still kids. He'd still be considered a kid. Like, he'd probably be considered a young teenager at that point. Young teen. Oh, heck. Oh my gosh, holy crap. And then he drifts for maybe 300 years? Probably? Because he's not quite 1,000 on Dreamland, but he's close to that. He's like 900 and something. And so, yes. Probably for 600 years he was looked after by Omega. I think Aeon thinks it's cute. Oh, Aeon definitely thinks it's cute. There's no way he doesn't. He's like, he really wants Omega to be like more open with it, but he's just not. So he's gotta be really sneaky with it. He's gotta be super sneaky. He could probably only play with it when like Omega's asleep or something. There we go. Because by math logic, Kirby should have remembered him, right? So the reason Kirby doesn't remember him is because of Amori. That's the answer I'm gonna give. No, so it's a similar case. So Kirby's case with not remembering is the same reason Amori doesn't remember. Well, sorry, not Amori. Sunny doesn't remember anything in the game Amori. It's because of trauma. That's like this vivid trauma because something tragic did happen, chat. It's because of this trauma of something that happened that's blocking out his memories. And like his memories slowly come back, and he kind of sees Omega in some of his dreams, but Kirby is like super blocking it out because he doesn't want to think about it. It's like a conscious decision he's making to not think about it. Even if he kind of knows something isn't right or something's going on, he's like making this decision to not think about it. Even when DDD says, you know, don't you want to learn about yourself, Kirby? There's so much more to you than just being Kirby. And he's like, I know what I am. I'm a Kabi, and that's it. We don't need to know anymore. But he clearly knows that there's more, and that's why he decides to see whatever it is DDD wanted to show him, because he thinks about his dreams, and he knows that something is going on, but he just doesn't want to think about it. No, Kirby doesn't remember due to the Weaver spell. Just keep it as Amori. Imagine your best friend sneaking into your room just to mess with your hair. That's amazing. I mean, if you, honestly though, like, this is actually the case of someone, like, say you've got really short hair and then your friend has super long hair. Would you not want to play with it? Like, as someone who has long hair, like, really long hair, I don't get that urge, because if I want to play with hair, I can just play with my own hair. But, like, for something that's short hair, I imagine that's probably a thing they want to do sometimes. And then it's just kind of tragic. Because they can't. Like, I always plait my hair when I'm bored with it. I'll just grab my hair and then I'll just sit there plaiting it. And I just imagine short-haired people can't do that. And so it's really tragic. So you know what? I don't even blame Aeon. They gonna go to Headspace? Hootie pushed down the stairs. I plead the fifth. I bet DDD... Oh. I bet DDD has really bad DD depression because Kirby and Meta left and Bandana D dies, so then his only really good friends are all gone. I mean, DDD does become pretty good friends with Fluffy. Debatably quite good friends with Fluffy. And I don't think he's that sad about Kirby and Meta leaving. He's probably quite upset about Meta leaving because him and Meta have a fair bit of history. And it wasn't really Meta's choice to leave. He kind of had to leave because he's still part of the Star Warriors. But with Kirby, Kirby didn't want to leave at first, but DDD was the one who sort of encouraged him to go. Because, like, it was really clear Kirby still wanted to go with Meta. Like, Omega's with him at the time, and I can't say for certain whether or not Omega decides to stay with him as well, or if he does go to. But basically, he wanted to go, but he felt like Dreamland was his home, and DDD's the one who kind of encourages him to leave. Which is super nice of him. I'm a lurk? Alrighty. Fluffy is best friend. Fluffy is amazing friend. We really just calling him Fluffy now. Well, here's the thing. Here's why I'm not calling him Dark. I could call him Dark, but guess who else I call Dark? Dark Midnight. I also call Dark Midnight Dark. That's his name. So I can't call Fluffy Dark as well, even though DDD does call him Dark. But I can't call him Dark because we're gonna get super confused with Dark Midnight. Call him Tedimorous. What a brilliant name. Maybe him and DDD come up with an actual name for him, because calling him Dark Matter is a bit redundant, not gonna lie. Like, there's so much Dark Matter. And that's, like, not really giving him an individual sense of self, you know? I feel like he needs an individual sense of self. And whether or not that is Fluffy, I may not know. Oh no, Dark Midi. And this is why I call Dark Meta Night, DMK. Well, here's the thing, they can't call him DMK in the series. Like in the series, when they're calling him by name, they don't just call him, hey, DMK. Like, this isn't Adventure Time where you call everyone, like, by the frickin' whatever it's called, where you have the letters that make up the different words. I'm such an idiot. You know, we can't be calling people our PBs and our, whatevers. It is 100% Fluffy, you know? It is 100% Fluffy, I agree with you. I agree that he accepts that as his name. Dark Committee! Just start naming multiple characters the same name. Acronym? Yeah, there we go. Acronym. Yay! People are smart. Thank you, chat. I'm so silly and wacky and dumb. Thanks for helping your streamer out when she had a brain fart. Thanks. Umbra Iris. Can we just name characters parts of the eye? The iris? The retina? Is that what we can do? The retina, the iris? He should be called Iris because he's just got one freaking eye on his face. That should be his name. Anything but Fluffy. Oh wow, I like the company of you, Koku. Why, thank you. Yo, Retina sounds badass, actually. Let's go, Retina! Why do you think I said it, Koku? I'm sorry! My mind works very slow. I did not realize. Chad, do you think we'll ever get this line art done? I don't think we will. I think this line art is never gonna get done. Because I've had to explain so much in this past hour and a half that we're never gonna get there. Pokemon Battle Revolution! Yes. Actually called an OC Iris? Oh, that's awesome. Fluffy's name should actually just be an Among Us reference. Holy heck, you're so right. Oh my gosh, you're so right, actually. Ding ding. Oh, chat, I know, like, we're not gonna finish this comic page today, right? And here's the reason we're not gonna do that. It's because this background, like, the background is, like, I'm actually dreading drawing it, which is really sad because I've been so excited to draw all these pages, and then I look at, like, the house and the interior, and I'm just like, bro, this is gonna take me so long. Interior actually sucks. I hate drawing interiors so much. It's awful. I like drawing landscapes so much more. We should call DMK night because at night, but also the night because he's dark, but he's a night, and night is like night, and it's the night. Oh, I think my brain just had a seizure. Alright. Koku, I'm confused. So Melody has a pendant, but Sailor has a different pendant. And you said Mello would get the pendant Sailor got from Bandana. I know me dum-dum. Oh yeah, so this was something this was something I wanted to change later on. I wanted to change this later on. It's that, like, it'd be cute. It's that, like, I don't think people, like, give their children their wedding rings in the real world, or, like, their engagement rings. I don't think that's a thing. I don't think that's real. Surely not, right? And I thought about it, and I was like, surely she wouldn't give that to Mello, though, because it's, like, her engagement thing. Like, right? And so I was like, oh, well, they would, obviously, they'd just get one for Mello. They'd probably go out and get something for Mello, and then Mello would choose. I think that'd be a lot cuter. Rather than inheriting, like, the one thing you're not really supposed to give it away. So it's a different one. It is a different one, but I do think they went out all together to pick it, and it was a really cute time. I think that it was really cute. Either that, or it was like, either they all went out to pick it, or it was like a birthday present, like literally birthday, like the day of her birth, from like someone else. Who is Mello? Mello is my little OC that we kind of made on stream, but then I drew it off stream. Of like Bandana and Sailor's kid and KK. And Mello has like a very like music aesthetic. Cause Melody, get it? We're so funny. I like the and more Nico in my name. Yeah, true, it's good. So how do Waddle Dee reproduce? Oh no. This is always a question that comes up, isn't it, chat? You're just so curious, aren't you, chat? Look, I know. I know it's hard to accept. It's alright, chat. You know, you'll know when you're older. Ugh. Cellular division. Does Meta meet Mello? If not, I'm mad. Mello deserves a Grandpa Meta. I think that depends when they have Mello. I'm trying to think. Because I don't think Bandana and Sailor probably don't become a couple until frickin'... Not until after Robobot. Probably not until nearly... Might not even be until after Star Allies, to be honest with you. Because Bandana's still kind of... it might be a little bit... Might be a little bit before Star Allies that they kind of become a thing. An item, maybe. But they definitely don't have Mello until before Forgotten Land. But they probably have Mello during Forgotten Land. Probably. So yeah, Meta would be there. I imagine now that I've said that, I'm now imagining in Forgotten Land, because Bandana is there with Kirby the whole time. I'm now just imagining him, like, super, like, panicky and, like, worried about Mello, like, where she is. Because I imagine they all get sucked up, you know, into the portal, and not everyone is with everyone when they get there. They're all kind of split up, and so I now imagine Bandana, like, frantically looking with Kirby to go find Mallow. And, like, he doesn't know where Mallow is, he doesn't know where Sailor is. They've got to go find them. Meanwhile, meanwhile, I imagine that Kirby is a bit more chill. He's just, like, regarding Star, he's just like, she's probably with Meta. It's alright. She's probably with Meta. And then Meta comes to the town looking for Kirby, and he's like, do you have Star? And he's like, no, I thought you had Star. Just neither of them have Star. And the whole time Star was with Galacta, like the whole time. Because of course Galacta's the only one who could have gotten there safely, because he's like the only one who can actually teleport. And I like to imagine the entire time everyone is like, guys, we have to get out of this dimension, guys! We've gotta get home, and the whole time Galacta's like, I can do that. Yeah? No? Okay. Okay, I won't send you home then, fine. Forget the fact that I have an ability that allows me to travel literally anywhere. No, it's fine. You guys work it out yourselves. I just imagine that is Aeon during, like, all of Forgotten Land. And then they find Meta, and Meta is like, fight me. No, this is why Meta fights Kirby in Forgotten Land. It's because they literally have an argument about, like, missing Star, about neither of them having Star, and then they're like, oh my gosh, they're so upset at each other, and then he just challenges them to a duel, because he's so angry that he's not with Star. They have a parent duel, when they should just be out looking for Star still, but they're like, no, we're gonna fight, because we're so upset at each other. Bandana, Bandy's and it's like, I miss my wife, Kirby, I miss her a lot. Oh, so sad. Gonna go back to the shadows? Alright, shall see you, Tab. So is KK Meta gonna pull what in the game Meta did, or is Meta's role in Forgotten Land and KK completely different? To be honest, I really like Forgotten Land and KK. It's quite fun. It's, like, more fun than it should be. For a lot of it isn't even about Kirby. Like, I imagine we'd get glimpses of, like, what Kirby is doing in the main story, you know, saving everyone. But majority of that comic is just, like, everyone, which would be, at the time, would be Aeon, Omega, Meta, Bandana, probably Sailor, Mallow, like, Star, like, everyone. Not Bandana, he'd be with Kirby. But, like, everyone. Just hanging out at the Waddle Dee village. Like, just, like, practically on vacation is how I like to take that comic. And then, like, as things are happening, you can, like, see the sky go all crazy, because, like, at the same time Kirby's fighting Fictophallis. And I just imagine it goes away, like, they're concerned, and then it goes away, and they're like, oh, it's alright. And, like, the whole time Kirby's, like, beating the game. Oh, everyone panicking. Bandana, stop whining, we need to save the world. Exactly, that's Kirby's, that's the kind of spirit Kirby gets later on. He's just like, oh my gosh, would you be quiet? We have to save the world again, alright? Pack your stuff, let's go. It's like his day job at that point. I wonder what Omega and Aeon would react to us shipping them together and you slowly giving into the pressure to make it canon. I like to imagine, right? Like, cause, like, sometimes I look at, like, KK as, like, this massive act that all of the actors are doing, right? They go on set and they act out the comic pages, and then, like, in their off time, they're just, like, in the break room. Right? Sometimes, I find that's, like, a really funny visual for me to think about sometimes. And so I can imagine, like, Omega and Aeon, like, always in the break room, like, just, like, they're just, like, workers, you know, they're just friend workers. And then, like, it's progressively getting more like Omegaon, and they just like more and more concerned as the new scripts come out. It's just great. I find that so funny. Bandana just one-hits everything. Oh my gosh. And then Kirby comes back after the fight and says, I just killed a god. Brilliant. And you know, and the thing about that is that, what is it? It's that the only person who would have any knowledge... Oh, well, here's the thing. Forgotten Land happens... This is why Forgotten Land is so chill, guys. This is why. It's because Forgotten Land happens after the Primal comic, right? This is an event that happens after the Primal comic, so Meta and Kirby are kind of already overpowered at this point of the series. They have unlocked their OP forms. Nothing's really gonna stand in their way anymore, ever again. And so, I take the very seriousness of Forgotten Land and I make it into this very fun, lighthearted vacation mode thing because they're already overpowered and realistically any gods that they're gonna fight just are a joke to them now. Because they literally fought the darkness god of the entire universe, Primal, and defeated him. Nothing really compares to him. Although I will say Fictocephalus kind of does compare to him because I don't know if you know how this works. I'll just quickly go over it. In KK, there are like the higher beings. Pretty standard knowledge. There are higher beings. There are two higher beings, Radiant and Primal. In other universes, alternate universes, there are other higher beings in KK, right? Fictocephalus is a higher being from a different universe in KK. That's what he is. And so Gold fights him when he comes to this universe and like utterly destroys him because his role is to keep balance between the higher beings. There's not supposed to be more than one and more than two in this universe. You need to get out of here, buddy. So he like destroys Fictocephalus. And that's why Ficto's able to be captured by the ancient, the quote-unquote ancients, because Gold had like weakened it insanely. Because realistically, I don't think the ancients should have been able to catch it at that time. But yeah, so Fictocephalus does kind of compare to Primal because they're both higher beings, but like, Fluffy D. Is KK Kirby sad when Alphalin dies? And is Alphalin's return gonna take longer, or is it gonna be 5 seconds? Oh, I definitely think it takes longer. I definitely think it should take a lot longer, because in, like, normal Kirby, he's sad for, like, 5 seconds. But the thing that's really sad about it in KK is that Kirby and Alphalin's friendship is more like an adult, because Kirby is considered an adult. He's probably like 9, no, he's probably 20 if he was a person at that point. Maybe even a bit older, I'm trying to, no, he might still, 19 or 20, either or. And Alphalin is like a kid, like a 7-year-old kid, right? That's how I interpret their friendship, so it's like really freaking sad when Alphalin sacrifices himself. And I definitely think it takes him a bit longer to come back than normal, and I think Kirby's like probably close to giving up hope on that. I actually don't know if Alphalin would come back on his own. Maybe. Kid, no! Yeah, no, that's actually how it would be. Goku is Sailor Trance? No. 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 Sorry, no. That's probably the one thing you're not gonna get out of KK or me, is a trans character. I'm very sorry, chat. That's the one thing you won't get out of me. I'll have gay couples, I'll have bi couples, I'll have an ace character, I'll have maybe even a lazy couple. You're not getting a trans person out of me, I'm sorry. That's where I draw the line. And that's just because of my own beliefs. Sorry, chat. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a tough one. I apologize. Yeah, it's a big rip moment. I'm sorry. But why? I'm really religious. I'm very sorry. It just doesn't quite. And I'm sorry. That's the reason I'll give. Saying I'm religious is a pretty awful reason though, I'll say, because even if I wasn't religious, I probably still wouldn't. Because it's just a preference of mine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, chat. Like, I'm super accepting of people for, like, majority of it, but it's my choice to have it in my series, and that's probably the one thing you won't find in my series. Guess we blaming religion then? No, don't blame religion, because even if I wasn't, I probably still wouldn't. Upland, I'm gonna assume you're not, like, fully against it, right? No, don't worry, I'm very accepting. And I do know a few trans people in real life, and, like, we're fine. I'm fine with them. You're not gonna find it in my content, because it's, like, my choice to show it in my content. I'm super cool with what other people do with their lives, that's awesome. But then, my content is my life, and so, yeah. That's, like, the reason I'm gonna give for this. I had a mini heart attack? No, it's alright, don't worry. I'm super accepting of the LGBTQ community, don't worry guys. I'm also accepting it too, awesome. Yeah, don't worry guys, I'm never gonna shun that like the LGBT, the community. You guys are like awesome. You guys are actually awesome. So don't worry about it. Too bad you can't stop my headcanons. Oh, awesome. You know what? You're right. I can't stop your headcanons. Well, that's a crazy headcanon. Let's go. Headcanon moment. Hey, everyone had a tiny heart attack. Gotta be careful with such topics because you can be cancelable online by people for depending on the wording. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to be careful. I am trying to be careful. But I don't think what I've said is cancelable because I'm super accepting of it and I know a lot of trans people in real life, but again, it's my choice to have it in my life, you know? Or have it in my content, you know? I think it's alright. It's okay. We're good, we're good. Yellow or chill though. But I'm glad you're accepting, lol, yes. Yes, yes, yes. There we go. I think the closest you get from me regarding trans is maybe a crossdresser. That's probably as close as it's gonna get. Anyways. I respect your decision, Goku. Thank you, Satur. Thank you. I do support lettuce, guacamole, barbecue, tomato, quarter pounders. Yes, I do support. Yes. I'm sure you support those. Will you have those in your life, though? Debatable. Bandanity probably seems like the person to go insane last, but in reality, Bandanity will murder anyone who kidnaps his loved ones. Oh, that's brilliant. Where'd the floof for the cape come from? The floof that's on his cape? Well, it would be really morbid if I said, like, a mountain goat, because that's, like, what Omega is. That probably wouldn't be, like, correct. But, and there's, like, nothing living on the planet, really. There's probably some fish, but I don't imagine there's really much life on the planet, as they did call it lifeless. So... it's, I like to think he might have traveled back. Oh, but I don't know if he knows where his home planet is. I'm trying to think, because it's more of a coincidence that he has this fluffy cape it's like a coincidence, because he doesn't realize that, like, majority of people in his tribe wear a fluffy cape like that. He doesn't know that because he doesn't know the history of his tribe. He was too little to remember. You know what I think, actually? I think that because Azar, does say that he met Omega at some point. Now, at this point of the timeline, I'm not going to say whether or not he has met Azar or not yet. But, if he did, I would say Azar may or may not have given him a fluffy cape. So that could potentially be a reason. He grabbed 4 string and crafted wool. No, actually true. Please let Omega fight a Yeti and get his fluff from that. Oh, that's also not a bad idea. See, it could have been a like some heavy lore family implication, or it could have just been Omega beating up a Yeti. I like either or. They're both good scenarios. You can headcanon that one, chat. Either or is fine with me. Duplicate. Merge down. Lineup. Wow, chat. Nearly 2 hours in and we've done the lineup. Koku, will we get Fla KK comic? What's a foul? What's a foul? What is that? I'm so confused. So are there more than the main 4 to 6 lesser beings we know about? Are there other lesser beings, like a lesser being of emotion, dreams, etc.? Yes, there probably are, because the way lesser beings work is that they're like Japanese gods, whereas there's a lot of them over a lot of things. It's just that the ones on the 4 diamond thing are the ones that are in charge, because they are probably the strongest ones. That's, I imagine, that's why. And so the hierarchy kind of changes, so sometimes the top 4 will change over the years. But there's heaps of them. Is Omega not wearing shoes on Ice Planet? Oh yeah, no, he's not. He kind of dumped his shoes. Which is, like, not a smart idea. This guy is walking on snow and bare feet. I imagine he has insane frostbite. I'm gonna go. See you later. Okay. Oh, Forgotten Land. Sorry, will we get a comic on Forgotten Land is what you're asking. I really want to do a comic on Forgotten Land, but that wouldn't be until after, like, a Primal comic, which is, like, the quote-unquote finale for KK, I would say. Like, that was gonna be where I kind of called it a do with, like, the main comics. And then I'd probably just work on side comics after that, but frickin', I guess we'll see when I get there. Because when I look at the comics that I still need to make, we've got Dawn of an Era and AV, which I'm working on. We've got End of the Line, which is continuing Meta story, and kind of wrapping that up. We've got Morpho's comic, which is like literally the foundation for the main story, so I really need to do that one. And then we have the Star Allies comic that I want to make. Because Star Allies is finishing off the bow with AV comic. It's like those two are connected, so I needed to make that one, so tie that little story in a bow. And then we need the Primal comic to turn the main to tie up the main story in a little bow. Anything that happens after that is kind of irrelevant to the main story, but I could still probably make comics on it. If I were to redeem the new comic pages, could I do two pages of the same comic? Yes, you definitely can do that. You can definitely do that. And then that will be us next stream, or maybe even before next stream, because I might have a comic, one of them done before next stream. Although it is kind of important that I do it on stream, huh? Because it's a redeem. No, it's probably not. We probably only have to do one of them on stream at least. I probably more so would favor just having it out as soon as possible. You can't make the finale and say happy ever after. I can't, you're right. I don't like actual Forgotten Land. It was a bit boring, but KK version will be amazing, especially if there's a comic dub of it. You know what? That's so true. And I don't know if you know Rainy, because I've mentioned the scenario a few times in KK and on stream. But the main factor I like to get from Forgotten Land isn't actually like the main story of Forgotten Land. I actually really love to focus on, I think it's the post game. So in the post game, when Kirby goes into that other dimension to fight Ficto, I don't know what version it is. It's the big headed version. I think that's Ficto Fulgo or whatever, whichever one it is. And then Kirby has to fight Morpho. That whole part of Forgotten Land is where KK shines, because that is what the main story point is. Because in KK, of course, Morpho and Kirby are like on good terms, and at this point, Morpho's pretty aware that Kirby is his sibling. But the thing is that, like, Morpho, more or less, when he absorbs, like, Ficto Fulgo, he gets kind of controlled by Ficto Fulgo. Because Ficto Fulgo kind of invades his mind, and Morpho has a super weak-willed mind because he's been so useless his entire life. Holy crap, has he been useless. He's done, like, nothing to actually fulfill his goal at all. And so he gets kind of controlled and fights Kirby. And he sees a lot of flashes of, like, how his destiny is all pointless and his life is all pointless because he's done, like, nothing to really do anything. Like, he's not done anything. In the final fight, it's, like, Kirby and Meta who defeat Primal. It's not even him. And, like, Aeon fights, too. Like, he's done nothing. And so he's so dejected about that, and he only absorbs Ficto Fulgo because he wants to finally help. He wants to finally help Kirby and help everyone. And look where that got him, it just didn't work. And so afterwards, him and Kirby, it like really solidifies the bond that he and Kirby like will later have as siblings, because they're quite close in the future. And this is kind of where it starts. He's like Kirby Jesus and he's that weak. Yeah. Not mouthful mode, oh no! What would happen if the God of Dreams pulled a Radiance? Oh no. That would be crazy. Look guys, I'm help it! That's actually what it is, holy heck. It's so tragic. You know, I actually have quite a few sketches of that. I don't know if I put them all on the thing, but it's like Morpho just actually being emotive with Kirby and like being really sad, and then Kirby gives him a lollipop. Like, holy crap, it's so cute. That's like the aftermath of the fight. It's like, oh man, it's so cute. And then this is, of course, where all of the Morpho loves his brother, probably a bit too much, art comes from. What is End of the Line going to be about? Oh, guys, I'm so excited for End of the Line. If you've seen the cover does have, like, Aqua, Ghost Asbel, Arthur, Dare on it. I might kind of delve into it, because we're not going to get it for a little bit, but I do want to kind of delve into the general story of it, because it's quite exciting. So... Can I kind of script KK Forgotten Land? I mean, I have the general story in my head, but who knows? I have the general story in my head. If you can come up with a feasible story, maybe. I have the general idea in my head, and normally when I go to make comics, it's not until I like go to make the comic that I actually write it all down. But we'll see. We'll see. That was a follow. Who was that? Who was that? Oh, a Genshin player. Amazing. Thank you for the follow. Hope your Genshin days are doing awful. Anyways. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I didn't think you're actually here. No, I hope your Genshin days are doing amazing. Of course, of course. Amazing, amazing. I definitely meant amazing. Yeah. Hello. Koku, how did you start KK? How did I start KK? I wanted to draw Meta X Kirby art, and I wanted to make a comic that was actually just a that was actually just Meta X Kirby in disguise of like an actual story, but the point was Metacurb, and that's of course the first comic. But I think I got about to when they were fighting DDD. I got to when they were fighting DDD, and then I think it was around that point that I had designed Asbel, and it kind of became a bit more than that. This all started with a ship. Yeah, it did. Yeah, I'm really sorry to say that, but it did. If you look at my art, like before KK, it's like Meta X Curb. That's what it is. I actually have some of it hidden because there was so much controversy around it. Some of it's not viewable, but majority of the art is Meta X Curb. Regardless, I think I got to around when they're fighting DDD, just before, like, after DDD, after that, when Meta has that flashback of Galacta, where I sort of decided I wanted there to be more than just that. And then that's when I put in the little flashback with Galacta, because I was like, I want there to be a little bit more. KK started with a ship, then was sailed away. True. A ship that's no longer canon? More or less. I'm way more confident in saying that Meta and Curb probably isn't canon because these two people have their own separate families. Once upon a time, it definitely was, I could wholeheartedly say canon. And I won't say it's not canon in the present time because, you know, in the present time, Kirby and Meta don't have families and are both bachelors. So whether or not they are bi and there is a past thing there that they were a thing, more so for the sake of looking after stuff, who knows? All I know is that they do eventually end up having their own families. I need you to unhide the Metacurb art so I can indulge in more Koku art. Oh, mate. Yeah, there is one in particular I should probably unhide. It's quite cute. Yeah, I should probably unhide that. Yeah, I might do that. A lot of it isn't quite, a lot of it's not public, but I might consider. I might put on the Discord even. We'll have the Metacurb folder to look at all of the old Metacurb art. I will admit in canon I consider Metacurb to be a very problematic ship. Here's what I'll say. Metacurb is a really problematic ship in the future. In the future, and let's not forget that the future is a full, like, 200 years away from even beginning to happen. So... cough. So, in the present, I don't really think there's an issue. I think they can be all flirty. It's fine. I mean, they're all they have at that point. That's cool. But if they move on from each other, cool. They both find, like, their own wives. Awesome. I don't think it's problematic in the present. I only think it's problematic in the future. And it's kind of clear that they probably separate yeah. I mean canon Kirby, not KK. Oh yeah, no, of course, it's so problematic in canon Kirby. That is literally why I got so much flack for that being a ship. Because it's so insanely problematic in normal Kirby. Context, people. You need context before you make a ship. You need so much context. And the problem with that is that normal people who, like, watch Kirby, or, like, know of Kirby, know it because of the anime. And so because of that, so much context is needed. So much context. I'd love to be invited to have a look at all of that art. How about I do this? I put a channel on the Discord called, like, the Metacurb history, whatever, and I just dump all of the art in there. Some of it might be on my old computer though, but I will literally dump every single sketch or thing relevant that I've ever done that's related to Metacurb. Some of it won't be accurate now, of course. Some of it will be like Kirby, Meta, and Kenma. But regardless, we'll just dump it all somewhere so we can all enjoy it without people being so weird. Because people on Demon Art get weird. Quite sad people became immediately outraged not knowing what your art is, that your art is an AU. Yeah, it's sad. They thought I was just drawing awfulness, but they just forgot the part where Kirby and Meta are like literally the same age. And to be fair, nowadays I do consider them to have like a way more brotherly like kind of relationship, especially in the future. But they just see each other as family. That's just all I'm gonna say. Family. In the future. I'd love that. Let's go. That's awesome. Sorry, I'm scrolling around looking for the right colors and I'm not getting them. Because I'm so distracted! Chat. You love to distract me, chat. It's alright. Whew. Dang, we're only 2 hours in. It feels like I've done a lot of talking. And I'm gonna be honest, chat, I do miss being able to have streams where we just chat about lore and stuff. Because I'll be honest with you, when we have like a game stream, it's a bit harder for me to do that because I'm normally focusing on the game. Like with Rain World, I was focused on the game probably the whole time and I didn't really talk about lore for the most part. And then when IKEA was here, and I did see this chat, and I'm very sorry chat, I'm very sorry Rainy specifically, because Rainy in particular on the IKEA stream was wanting to bring up a lot of lore, but I was in a situation of my older sister is going to think I'm odd if I start headcanoning with one of my fans. So I didn't. And so I just kind of focused on just hanging out with IKEA for that stream. But just know, if it wasn't an IKEA stream, I would have headcanoned with you. Just know. I do love lore. It is awesome. You're right, I'm looking through the first comic and you can see that during the point where it's Kirby, Meta, DDD, and Bandana, it gets much more serious, as mostly before it was mostly just a humorous adventure that hints to a headcanon lol. Yeah, no, exactly. It was just supposed to be some comedic adventure where they're just like, it was literally just supposed to be fluff. Just fluff content. Like, they go beat up DDD, then they go do the next thing, and it's like some sort of slow infatuation, whatever was gonna happen. But of course, by the end of it, they're just friends. But then after everything that happened, you know, Star's comic, guys, I've actually got to say this because this is crazy. Did you know that the events of Star's comic has probably been rewritten probably 3 times in my head before it came out as what it was? And the first rendition, I don't know if rendition's even the right word, but the first version of Star's comic couldn't have been more heavily meta-curb. Like, the whole issue was meta-curb in that comic. It was crazy. The whole issue and Meta having all this self-doubt was not about his mother or anything like that. It wasn't any past trauma that he had. His whole doubt about everything was how Dreamland are gonna see him and Kirby. Like, that was what the whole story was. The whole story was him not wanting to be seen as a couple with Kirby because he's supposed to like Kirby, but he's like doesn't want to show that. It's like crazy. It was so different. And I think like I remember it so vividly in my head when I was planning it. The breaking point, I think it was the breaking point for him in the comic because he does still lash out, but he lashes out at DDD in the original version of the comic. Because they go and they see DDD. I can't remember why. I think it's because Kirby's just really excited about Star and wants to go show DDD. And it's like at some point DDD is teasing them about something and just mentions how Star genuinely looks like she would be their kid, and it triggers Meta because he hates / loves that, and he has this massive fit about it. It's like crazy. And then in the end of the original version of the comic, I think he talks to Galacta, and Galacta can kind of see what the issue is here. But I could never get past that point in the comic in my head. I was like, well, what happens after that? Does he like go to Kirby and admit his feelings? Like, what happens? Like, I don't know. I never knew what happened past that point, and I eventually changed it all of it. I scrapped almost the whole thing. I think the only part that probably stays the same the whole way through is how they find Star. But they never go originally see Galacta. It, like, is so different. It was so different. It's been through so much. I do like how it is now, though, but it was very different once upon a time. Star coming now, my trauma keeps getting to me and is hurting everyone around me. Star coming then, am I gay? That's actually what it was. Holy crap. Like, and cause here's the thing, in the normal comic, they don't catch on to the fact that Star is calling them, like, dad and mum specifically. Like, they don't realize that's what that is. I think that Meta's able to, like, identify the fact that her saying Ka means Kirby. And I think he's also able to identify that her calling him Tom is, like, him, like, calling him, like, that's what she calls him, but I don't think he identifies either of those as referring to, like, them as her mom and dad, right? That would have kind of been interesting. The reception may have been worse than the Kirby X Meta stuff. Yeah, exactly. It's like, so, it was such an interesting idea, and I did want to delve into it, but then at the end of the day, I was just like, this just isn't really a topic I can delve into, is it? Not with these characters. I could delve into this exact topic with Aeon and Omega, right? If, like, they found a kid or something, and then we're having, like, conscious feelings of each other, I could literally delve into this same topic with them, and it would be fine. Why? Because one of these characters are an OC, the other character is known to be an adult. So these two characters are fine. It's because it's Meta and Kirby specifically that it's such an issue. What? Censor? Hold the sword with Kirby? Hawa? Where? Who? What? Oh, wait. Automod blocking some specific phrases. Oh, I see. Yeah, Automod is weird. Automod is strange. Even though you didn't type it with the intended Automod head, that's funny. This wouldn't work with these two characters, but it would work with their dads. So true. So true. I think I still want a story kind of similar to that. The only problem is that there's not really two characters I can do that with, is there? I do kind of like the story of, like, I do kind of want a rom-com chat, like I do. Rom-coms are great. But I want a rom-com that's done right with actual emotion. But it does have its funny stuff. But I don't know what characters I can do that with, to what story. The only characters I could probably do that with is Aeon and Omega on, like, a rom-com of one of their missions in the past, maybe. Like, that's all I can think of, but I'm like, that's kind of boring now. That's kind of boring, so who else? And then I just can't think of anyone else, so I just get sad. But his dad isn't Galacta, though, but close enough-ish. I mean, he's his father-in-law, so I guess in the future anyways. So I guess it's close enough, but yeah, not quite his dad. Get Adam Sandler on this? Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, actually true though. We gotta call him up. No one else can do the job better than him. Here we go. I'm just only going to be able to get the flat color done, chat. I'm getting so distracted by all of the fun stuff we are talking about, which isn't a bad thing. I think it's awesome that we're just sitting here and chatting and having a good time. There we go. This is not, there we go. It's better. Oh, is that the case? Is that the case in the future? Galactic becomes Mida's father-in-law. Stepfather? It's father-in-law because he's Kyra's dad. And of course Kyra is whom Mida would grow to love. So I'm gonna put it now. Of course him and Kyra get married, so, and Aeon is Kyra's dad, so yeah, father-in-law. Meanwhile, Gold is just his dad. Gold is just his dad. His biological parent. Yeah. And he is, I will say, he's pretty close with Gold in the future because, like, it's like ever since he's met Gold, it's like, it's just a great moment. And I haven't shown it, or really talked about it, but it's like a really great moment for Mida. And yes. Family terms confuses me. Couldn't remember all the correct terms. No, that's fair. So we'll just double check this. So, father-in-law is when your father-in-law is the father to your spouse, right? That's what that is, because he's your father by law, because by law you've married his daughter, so you are therefore his son, right? Father-in-law. Stepfather, your parent, mother or father, whoever, marries someone else, and then they become your stepfather. I don't know why it's called stepfather, though. AKA what Aeon would be to what Galacta would be to Kirby. Stepfather. But no. That's the difference. And I get confused too. Like, I have, what is it? What do I say? What do I have? I have Aqua say something so stupid about Kirby that I swear, like, to his connection to her, and I swear it's not right. She's like my double, like, son and, like, my double nephew-in-law or something is what she calls him. Like, something so stupid. My double nephew-in-law or something. I swear it's something like that. Okay, this is very off-topic. I'm sorry, but I had to tell you this. Kirby, right, on Forgotten Land is just tired and is probably acting his age. Meta Knight is just like, fight me, you idiots. And Bandana D is panicking about his family, and King DDD is possessed, of course. I do love the idea that Kirby, at this point of Forgotten Land, is dropping his happy-go-lucky side. I actually really love that. I actually think that Kirby starts to drop his happy-go-lucky side more and more after he starts looking after Star. And he starts dropping it more because he's got to kind of step into the role of being a father a little bit more to her, or at least being a caretaker. And so being his happy-go-lucky child, having fun, is, like, good, and he's probably like that with Star sometimes when they're playing, but at the same time, he does sort of have to step up and do the thing, be the dad, and he kind of does ease into more and more of being himself. You got a new follower? Oh boy, sorry. Who is it? Foot Lover! Aww. Hi, Foot Lover. Hope you're loving your feet. Hope that's going well for you. Thanks for pointing that out to me, chat. Family terms give brain farts? Oh, I agree. Family terms are awful. I think that's so stupid, because if they're your father-in-law, then you'd be married to your sister. That's so true! That's actually stupid! You're married to what is technically now your sister-in-law, but it's your wife. No, that's actually screwed. What? What? And then, because by definition, everything becomes your sister-in-law, your brother-in-law, that's what all that becomes. Dang. Foot-long Subway sandwich lover, Shirley. Shirley. Yeah, Shirley. Yeah, that's definitely what that stands for. Yeah. New headcanon, that's what that stands for. Like, what the, what the fuck is the third cousin twice removed? Yeah, no, what is that even, actually? I don't even want to think about that. I think so. I think it was Mumku trying to explain to me how cousins work. Because cause your first cousins are like your brothers and your sisters, oh sorry, your parents being siblings. That's what a first cousin is. And then a second cousin is your parents' parents, so your grandparents being siblings. And then Koku swears. Not really, it was a half swear. And then your great grandparents being siblings is what your third cousins are. And I was sitting here like, what? Huh? I was so confused. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. That's how she explained it to me, and I believe Mumku. And now, thanks to that info, I now want a bath. Hman. I wonder if we'll ever get the color done for this page. Probably not. It's probably never gonna happen. We're gonna push 3 hours and I'm gonna be like, alright chat, we're done. How far did we get? Oh. Like, the most, like, we've not done any work this stream at all. I knew it would happen on stream one day. Yeah, probably, eh. Okay, here's what Google says. If there's no removed in the relationship, it means you and your cousins are on the same generation. But if you are cousins twice removed, that means your cousin is either part of your grandparents' generation or your grandchildren's generation. Because they are 2 generations removed from you. Oh, I see! So they're removed from generations. You know, I might have a cousin who's removed then, because chat, a lot of my sibling, like my oldest sister, my oldest sister, Starbucks, she's like 35 or 36. She's like 16 years older than me. I think she's 36 because I'm 20 and she's 16 years older than me. So like a lot of, and that's like when my parents were first having kids. So that's when a lot of people their age were also first having kids. So I have a lot of cousins who are like twice my age. Does that make them removed? So you're 20. Yes, I am. But she's 36. She's like 16 years older than me. So does that mean I do potentially have a removed cousin who's removed from a generation from me? Potentially. Is that supposed to be a glove? Oh, probably, eh? I'm young compared to you. Oh, don't say that. I already feel old. I feel old being 20 and then I'm just not old because all of my siblings are like full-on people with kids, you know? Full-on families with kids. Chat, when I have a child, can we all just brainstorm and name it together? Can we do that? Forget my husband. Let's just brainstorm together and name the child together as a community. No, my auntie's a little older. Oh, I see. Okay, phew. If you have a child, no. When? I do want a kid. I do want one kid. We name it Tisco. No, chat, no. That is if you have a child. I will have a child, chat. I'm very determined to have a child. Or Koku? Oh, imagine calling my kid Koku. Name them Omega. Well, if I had a son, maybe. I feel like I couldn't get it out of my head to not name my kid like a KK reference. Like, I couldn't, like, surely I call, like, my kid Asbel or something, surely, right? Because that's a pretty normal name. But then they're gonna know, because I make the series, they're gonna be like, Mom, why did you name me this way? Why did you name me after the character you killed in your silly little series? Kanara, Antonio, or Antonio. Is Omega like Morpho's father-in-law? Or is Aeon his father-in-law? Or is Aeon his father-in-law, because those two are totally wait, how does that work? How is Omega like Morpho's father-in-law? Is that because... or is Aeon his father-in-law because those two are totally canonically together? I'm trying to think. My head is dying just reading that. So, Omega can't be Morpho's father-in-law, because even though he is... But he is Kirby's father, and Kirby is Morpho's brother, but... He's not, like, got any genetics related to Morpho, but maybe? I don't think he'd be considered his stepfather unless he got with Silver. Only in that realm, when he gets with Silver, does he become Morpho's stepfather. Because they are half-brothers? Yeah, they are half-brothers. They are half-brothers. My head hurts. My head is hurting too! Why did you name me after one of your characters that died young? I got curious if Asbel is actually a name and looked it up and see that it is long. Scrolled down on Google Images to see how long it'd take me to see KK Asbel, and didn't take long. Oh my gosh, Asbel just mustn't be a very common name if it didn't take you that long to find them. No, so actually, chat. So I got the name Asbel because Asbel was, you know, he's the first OC I made. I got the name Asbel from, now, you can sue me for this. It's alright. I don't mind. I'll pay $30,000 because I deserve this. But I had the name Asbel from an old anime game that I used to play. It was one of the Tales games. Tales of Grace's If, I think. So from that anime game that I used to play when I was like 13, the main character's name is Asbel, and he was like the coolest. I thought he was so cool. And so that's why I called him Asbel, because he was a cool character in that. For real, 30,000. No. Maybe not quite 30,000. I'm already gonna be in debt 30,000 when I take out my student loan, chat. You can't do this to me. That's what was appearing in Google Images too? Yeah, I imagine, because Asbel's not a very popular name other than that one character from that one anime game. Like, that's like the only game or anything that I've heard that name from, Asbel. I've just not heard it from anything else. So, yeah, I imagine it's not that popular of a name. But I like it. I think Asbel's an awesome name. This explains everything. Oh no. So what is the relationship between Morpho and Omega? Because Omega is in the family tree because of Kirby, so what would Morpho call Omega? See, this is interesting because Omega and Morpho do sort of know each other. And if you'll know this for two reasons, and both of these reasons have to do with animatics. So sorry, non-animatic watchers out there. But in the Morpho animatic, Morpho was obviously there and saved Kirby from the thing that was happening at the time at the place and the things. And of course Morpho references this in the first comic that he was there and had not seen Kirby since that time at that place, doing the thing that he was doing at that time at that place, right? And then again at the end of whatever the frick, the one where they defeat Primal, that animatic, at the very end, we see that none other than Omega was hosting Morpho's form. So it's like very clear that these two know each other. So I don't know how friendly of terms they're on. I mean, and then also Morpho does also appear in the freaking Ancient's Downfall, so I guess Omega also knows him from there. They know each other pretty well, to be honest. I imagine they're on pretty good terms. I could actually see Omega teasing him about being his dad. I could see that. I could see that dynamic between them. Like, Omega teasing him by calling him, like, son. But, like, Morpho's way older than him, so it's really funny. I think that ship has sailed. It's like that one drawing of them in the family car. Oh, I love that drawing. Them in the family car. I do like the thing that he teases him about it. Name your daughter Grey Princess Zotet, and if it's a boy, name him Grey Prince Zote. Alright. Maybe. Can that be their middle name? Can we have, like, Koku, Grey Princess Zotet, whatever my last name will be, because my last name isn't gonna be what my current last name is, because it'll be different, because I'll probably be married. Which, you know, I'm actually happy about that I'll have a different last name, because I'm not gonna lie, chat, my last name is a meme. I'm not saying it, but it's a meme. It's such a meme of a last name. So I'd actually be quite happy to drop it. Oh, hi, Cone. Name them Snatchy. Please do that. I'm not keeping my last name. No, it's not happening. It's awful. It's awful. I thought last drum you said naming your child after yourself was narcissistic, and now you're naming your child Koku. Okay, you know what? How dare you have a good memory? I did say that, and now that you've said that, I remember saying that last stream. Oh. Oh. You're right. I can't name my kid Koku because that is narcissistic. You're right. Or is it just wishful? Look it up on Google again. I've decided, chat, that I'm not gonna get married unless the person's last name is Draws. I've made this decision now. It's over. Because then if I did name my child Koku, it would all make sense. I love how offended you are just because of that. What is happening anymore? I don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore. I'm trying to color in Omega. It's not working out. And then didn't you say you wanted to name your kid? Yeah. But I just asked chat if when I have a kid, we all decide together collectively, right? I think that'd be funny. Len, what are you talking about? You're already married with Ukok? What? Whoa. Oh no. That's right. Ah! Toby did it! Toby did it! A new end of the line comic page! Holy heck, Toby's done it! I have to do that. Not right now, it's for next stream, but I have to do that now. I have a question, Toby. I do have a question. Here's my question for you. If this comic page came out before next stream, would you be upset? Would you be upset if it came out before next stream? Or do you specifically want it to be done on stream? He's bloody gone and done it, ladies. 50k just gone. Not at all? It's understandable. Alrighty, I'll keep that in mind. I mean, I'm definitely gonna sketch it today, but, we'll see when it actually comes out. It'll either be whenever next stream is, or it'll be before that, because I've been in a bit of a comic drawing mood, haven't I? Anything to get me out of having to draw this interior. Like, look at that. Don't want to draw that interior. Sorry, I forgot to draw his little thingy. And here, I literally forgot to draw it on like all of the everything. I guess you can't really see it there, so it's alright. Do you mean like streaming the drawing or doing it off stream? Yeah. I mean streaming the drawing or doing it off stream. Like, do you mind if, like, say, tomorrow, sometime tomorrow, I say, guys, look, I've done a new page of the end of the line. Isn't that crazy? Rather than me doing it on stream. Like, a couple of days later. Just out of curiosity, if you're alright with that. Not to say it will happen, but if you are alright with that. If that did happen. Oh, Lynn is a hypocrite? Wow, thanks. Draw the Aeon picture, please. What's the Aeon picture? We will redeem an entire comic at this rate. Oh my gosh. I really want to talk about Sailor X Bandana, but I don't know what to say about it. I just want headcanons. Lol. Oh yee, how do Kabi Waddle Dees get married? I imagine it happens, but one of them will pass very early, which is very tragic. And say, I can redeem a second one too, right? Yeah, you can redeem that infinitely. You could redeem 10 of them on a stream, for all I care. And I will get it done. Because that, my friend, is motivation. That's the benefit. Redeem as many as you can or want. I'll get it done. And I got space for another page. Oh, oh, he actually did. I was gonna say, there's no way Toby actually does another one though, because then he'll be broke. But he actually just did. Oh my gosh. Oh my freaking gosh. I was like, there's no way he does though. There's no way he does though, because then he'll be broke. 1 year channel points gone like that. Holy heck. Oh, heck. I'm guessing this is also... I got 77 gem apples. How fitting. Toby's insane. Man, if only I could do moments, say chat. This would be a moment. I don't know how to do moments. I don't even know if I can do moments. I don't know if that's like a partner thing or not. But a moment would be real fitting right now. That's crazy. Holy heck. I'm assuming the second one is also for end of the line, Toby? Are these both for end of the line? That's what I'm gonna assume. Koku, I'm confused with the answer you gave me. About the Waddle Dees and the Kabi. Well, I mean, they get together as any normal two things would, and, the only thing is that, you know, one of them's gonna die very early, which is the Waddle Dee. So I suppose they just have to make the most of it. I suppose in some places it might be taboo, because, like, in a way, one of them's, like, insanely older than the other one. So I imagine in some places it's taboo, but in some places it's probably not taboo, because they go by, like, mental age, maybe? So then it's the same length as the yes, end of the line. Okay. So then it's the same length as the Morpho comic about. Alrighty, noted. 2 more pages for end of the line. That's exciting, you know, and it doesn't take me long to get into a flashback. I don't think Galacta and Meta are really gonna talk much longer. I do think Meta will just get into the flashback. So that's exciting. We're gonna be starting the flashback. We're starting so many flashbacks. Now we're starting the Omega flashback. Now we're gonna start the end of the line flashback, which, by the way, takes up like 80% of the comic. Majority of that comic is a flashback. I mean, how do Waddle Dee X Waddle Dee get married, or Kabi X Kabi? Oh, how do they get married, you mean? Oh. Sorry. Like, like the procedures to getting married? Like, have you never, was gonna say, have you never planned a wedding? But then I've realized I've never planned a wedding either, so I suppose I wouldn't know much more. I suppose it's just normal customs, right? Then what's this? Some kind of flashback arc? It is! It's a flashback arc! Because, chat, I was gonna say it before and then I got distracted. I was gonna talk about End of the Line and then I got distracted. End of the Line is like a massive flashback arc talking about 2 points of Meta's life. Point A, it talks about what happened to Meta after Asbel died. Point B, it talks about Meta's upbringing with Dare. Those are the 2 main points we want to take away from this. And so it only leaves one bit of Meta's history still kind of in the fuzzy fuzz, and that's what happened with him, Kyra, and Galacta, which I'm leaving in the fuzzy fuzz for quite a while. But it's 2 points of Meta's backstory that's going to be covered. Both End of the Line and Blue Rose were flashbacks. Majorly, yeah. Yes, Dare finally comes in the comic, yeah. It might be like ancient Japan marry thing, and if people see you as married, you are. Oh, potentially. I'm assuming Meta has the most flashbacks in all of KK. I don't know. I think currently, yes, but I think after End of the Line, maybe not. Because, I kid you not, guys, End of the Line is gonna have, I think, to the best of my knowledge, at least 3, there are 3 different flashbacks that I want to do in this one. And we've just gotten into the first one now and we're 20 pages in. So, this comic is gonna be long, is all I can say. 3 different flashbacks I want to delve into. And then there have to be, like, things that Kirby is doing in between each one to help fill it all out. So, holy heck, this is gonna be a 100-page comic. I don't know how I feel about this element, yo. It's such a crazy thing to do after so many streams, but at least I get to look forward to 2 new pages. Don't worry, Toby. I think it's worth it. I'm gonna make sure to make these the best 2 pages ever. To the best of my capability. Don't worry, I'll put a lot of thought into them. And I'll structure them very nicely. And I'll make sure they are filled with lore. For you to munch on. It is okay. It'll be epic. So, since you've redeemed 2, Toby, I think it's probably unlikely that I'll have them both out before next stream, so we probably will get to work on one of them next stream. I think that'll definitely be something we can do. Here we go. Alrighty, Toby in 2040. I'll spend my points for the final page. Toby's gonna spend all of his points on this entire comic. Because I'm never gonna finish Angelic Valor. Because I keep putting it off to do more Dawn of an Era. Angelic Valor only has 15 pages left. If I just sat down and did them, we could move on with our lives. And I could work on Dawn of an Era and End of the Line. But I can't. I'm so stuck on Angelic Valor because every page is like a mission to draw. There's so much going on. There's so many effects. All of the characters have so many details on them. And I'm just sitting there like, dang, I really don't want to draw this. So it's such a mission for me to work on that comic. But if I just sat down and got it done, dang, we'd be so much better off. Bye, Puyo Kid. It's a lot, so understandable. Yeah, it is a lot. I thank you for understanding. Doesn't help that I'm having you work on a different comic now. No, don't worry. It's alright. That's the point. The point is that you just get to pick what comic you want me to work on. Because, like, even though I have to draw AV next, it's not like everyone wants to see AV. Some people want to see other comics, and I completely understand if you want to see a different comic. So I think being able to give you guys the option to have me draw a different comic if you're, like, not interested what I'm currently drawing, or if you just prefer to see something else, that's totally fair. I totally understand that. Remember Radiant Star? Who now? I actually think, I was saying this earlier, Cone, I actually think I'm gonna change the name of that comic. from Radiant Star to like something to do with the dusk. Something to do with the dusk because it I want it to be a reference to how Kirby's the dawn and Morpho's the dusk. So it's not gonna be the dusk of an era, don't worry, that would just be really unoriginal. But I do want it to have the word dusk in it. Oh, that's fitting. Yes, yes, yes. Wait, does Kirby and Meta go to Bandana and Sailor's wedding? If so, Kirby will become a waterfall, and Meta will unmask will be happy. King Divinity will probably be very happy for them. I agree. That's so good. I was thinking of that Dusk of an Era. Radiant Dusk. Radiant Dusk is crazy. Gosh darn it. I'm getting tired, chat. We're nearly 3 hours in and I'm getting tired because I've had to do so much talking. I think we're probably... I wanted to do so much more. Remember at the start of stream when I was like, alright guys, we'll do some Dawn of an Era, and then we'll do some Patreon, and then we'll do some gaming. Remember when I said that? Oh dang, was I wrong. Why? Because we just kept talking about lore and I just kept getting distracted, just wanting to talk about lore. So here we are. We've brought it upon ourselves. After all, that hydration is good, yeah. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, I just saw that. Yeah, true. Koku, I'm tired. Radiant Sunfall? What? Omega in the void. He is in the void. Save? Thank you. I shall save. Here we go. Even now, Toby spends his points earnestly. I'm really excited. Now that you've redeemed those end of the line pages, I'm actually really excited to sketch them. I'm getting motivated. I can feel it. I can feel the motivation. I can feel me like, oh my gosh, I want to sit down and sketch these. So I'm excited to do that later today. That's gonna be awesome. We'll finally be able to see what Star is pulling out of that basket. Or do we already know? I forget. Star's pulling something out of the basket though. I think I forgot, but I'll remember, don't worry. And then I'll make sure she's pulling out the right thing. I'm so excited to see him. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Dusky Solitude? Dusky Solitude. Don't worry, I'll think of something, Cone. You don't need to hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself, Cone. Trying to think of a name. It's alright. We don't know yet. Yeah, we don't know yet. Yeah, you'll know all in good time. There we go. Koku, did I ask if you colored the future bandana and sailor designs? Yes, you did at the start of stream, and then I said, what did I say? I said, oh yeah, I really want to, but I've been so hyper-fixated on drawing Dawn of an Era. And by the way, that's what we're doing today, chat. That's what I said. Or something akin to that. Oops, sorry. Nah, don't worry. You're all good. You're all good. Ding, ding, ding. I really need a list, chat. See, I have this list that's sitting on my... I've got this list, chat. You want to see my list that's sitting on my dresser? So I've got my to-do list that's sitting on my dresser, and just so we're clear, some of these things I said I would do in probably June and July. Like, that's how long ago some of these are. Like, look at this is my to-do list. I have to sketch the popularity poll results. I have to for 2022. I have to redo the popularity poll results from 2021. I've got to finish editing the Emerald finale, which I started, but I've not finished that yet. Then I have to make the thumbnail for that, and then I need to edit the second one, and then I need to make the thumbnail for that. Which I have the art, but I haven't, like, composed it into a thumbnail. Then I have to make the Koku Void emotion, which is probably 2 years old at this point. Then I need to finish the popularity poll results for 2022. And then I have a commission to do for Stellar. And I have to do the Gourmand edits and thumbnail. Milky has a Patreon, Tad has a Patreon. I have 2 different animatics that I want to work on. And then I have to work on the dub crops for EOS, and then by next month I'll have to work on the dub crops for AB. And that's just the surface, chat. This sucks. The void emotion is a myth at this point. What about Koku frustration emote? Yeah, that's also one that I have to do. And honestly, I really need it. I need Koku frustration emote in my life. But so that, chat, that is why. And I can never find time for all of these things. That's quite a lot. That's quite a lot of the workload you got on you. I know. I know, and then I just sit down and I'm just like, I'll just make another comic page, forget this workload. Because I look at like an edited one and I'm like, when I sit down and look at how long it took me to edit the Survivor one, which was probably 8 hours. I was working on it for more than a day, it felt like. It's a 40-minute edited video. I was working on it for more than a day, and by the time I was done with it, I was like, I never want to do that again. And so ever since I've done that, I'm just like putting off editing all of these Randalled videos because that first one was such a mission to edit. There's a list of things to do is more than the number of points Toby had. Oh my gosh. The Nin can use the emotes. And then it's just crazy like that, yeah. Can we color the drawing today or on another stream? Ooh, not today, I'll tell you that much, because look at how far we've gotten into the comic. It is not happening today. We're already 3 hours in. Unless I want to have a 6-hour stream, it's not happening today, which I'll be honest, I don't want to have a 6-hour stream. But I'll color that in at some point. I'll just add it to my list. Don't worry. It'll be added to the list. The list that, like, doesn't even mention a single Q&A on it. Like, Void Koku win. Here's the thing. Void Koku is so easy for me to actually make, because my plan for Void Koku was to just make my eyes black, like in Hollow Knight, when they've got Void, to have black eyes, and then like maybe some little drips of black coming from the eyes. Like, that was my plan for Void Koku. And then guess what? I'm so tired thinking of having to animate the eyes again. Animating the eyes takes so long. I'm like so tired. But one day it'll be done. Void Koku, one day it'll be done and I'll do it. And then I want to do Frustrated Koku, who shouldn't be very hard, because I'll just do my classic, like, white eyes. You know, the white eyes I do when they're mad. I'll do those eyes for my Frustrated Koku ones. And then I'll make, like, my mouth will be open a whole lot. It'll be crazy. Although I will say, chat, I don't actually have, like, a quick select button for these emotions. It feels pretty... It's pretty hard. I've got to, like, click a button, and then I've got to do the shortcut key. It's like kind of hard to do, but I think it'll still work regardless. Let's do this. Also, sleep Koku for when you're away. Yes, noted. Koku, what do you recommend for someone who wants to start drawing their own comics? What do you mean? Do you mean in terms of, like, storyboarding, art programs, style of comics? Because there are different ways to draw comic pages, I tell you that much. There are very different ways to draw comic pages. Like length, scripting, anything like that. Koku, can we share Melody, or is she your OC? I mean, she's most likely my OC. I mean, we kind of thought of her together, but she's gonna be used within the KK series. So, and I did also draw and design her. So I would like to say she's my OC. But you're welcome to share her with anyone. Like, you're welcome to post images of her like this is an adorable OC that Koku made or something. Like, I don't know. Scripting? Alright, well, here's what I'll say. Don't overcomplicate it, because I have overcomplicated scripting at times. Here's what I've done that has been overcomplicating scripting. I got to the point where I was scripting dialogue for every single panel of a comic page. I was scripting the panel, what was happening in that panel, the angle of that panel, and what they were saying in that one panel. Now, if you're an imaginative thinker, someone who can think of things in their head quite well, you don't need a plan that severely, because for the most part, an imaginative thinker is just going to come up with it as they're going. Someone who kind of struggles to come up with images in their head, yeah, for that I would write it all down, because you need something to base your thing off. But for me, I just write a sentence for like a comic page. Maybe not a whole comic page, but I'll write like a couple sentences for a whole page of what I want to happen in the page. So if I have an example, hold on, give me a second, chat. If I pop up like an old example from like Angelic Valor, right? I'll do one of the older pages, not one of the newer ones. I can only go as far back as page 40. Alright, so I'll read this out. So this is like my plan, my scripting plan for page 40, right? This is my scripting plan for page 40. All I said was that both look up, referring to Omega and Aeon, seeing Aeon, Alpha falling from above. Omega simply holds his gloves out and catches Alpha as he's falling. Hero in question is completely panicked by what happened and thanks Omega for catching him, whilst being shocked to see Aeon, believing he was dead. Aeon and Omega would go on to explain it was a very long story as Omega places Alpha down, but before anyone else could really speak, you can hear Jets, which is Delta. Now, this is the original script, which is the same but quite different from what happens, because I add on that whole, like, Omega getting really angry at Alpha for touching Aeon. And that's what scripting is, I think. I think a lot of it is you come up with it on the spot. There's a lot of improvising that goes on, and it's good to have an original script, but I think it's also very important that you make your script very free to change and do stuff like that, because at the moment, if I read to you, like, The Dawn of an Era, the original script, if I read that to you, you'd be like, no. Because it's nothing like what Dawn of an Era is right now. I actually didn't script any of this flashback that I'm doing with Omega. This is all coming from just how I've always thought it to be in my head, but I've actually not written it down at all. I think in the script I wrote, there's a flashback of Omega finding Kirby as an egg. That's what I wrote in my script. And that is covering these pages and pages of the flashback that I have to draw now. Like, I didn't actually script this flashback, I'm just working on it as I go. Lynn's scripts are crazy. They are quite something. It's a model for some duct tape, apparently. Oh, goodness. Alright. Well, we're almost done with the flat color, chat. I think once we're done with the flat color, I might just go because it's getting hot. I'm tired. I've been doing a lot of talking this stream, which has been nice. You know, I miss it. I'm trying to still get back into the being able to hit 4 hours, but I am struggling. I will say I'm still struggling to be able to hit 4 hours. But I believe I'll be able to get back there one day. Thanks, Koku, for your advice. You are welcome. I wouldn't take all of my advice to heart because I'm probably not the best role model, because I'm the person who has, you know, tens of thousands of words worth of lore just stored in my head, not written down. And I'm just supposed to remember that. And so because it's all written down in my head, I'm constantly changing things because technically it's all in my head still. So until I write it down on paper, it's not confirmed, right? And that's the issue. Don't leave things in your head for too long like I do, otherwise you'll be rewriting it 10 times over before you actually do anything with it. Try to keep things more or less the same. Although that does depend on the situation, because like I was saying before, the Star comic went through so many different changes. There are no holes in the plot, only holes in your understanding. Actually, Koku right now. Oh my gosh! There's probably so many holes in my plot. It's alright. It's alright, I'll just live with it and move on. I try for there to not be plot holes, but I think I try that too much, and then everything has to connect, and so you expect everything to connect, because I'm trying not to have any plot holes, but it's like too much, and that's why it gets complicated. That's why it's overly complicated. So I'm trying to avoid plot holes, and I don't think there are any plot holes in KK. At least as far as I'm aware. I just think it's overcomplicated because I've been trying to avoid them so much. Here we go. Here we go. Ooh. I think that's about right. I still have to draw a little bit more on the egg, and I think that's it. And then the flat color is done. Yeah, that's alright. Yes! Oh my gosh, we're so close. Flat color is almost done. Plot hole who created the whole universe. If I had to guess, probably the Divine, because the Divine doesn't exist in one universe, the Divine exists in all universes. It's like an umbrella thing. It's like, yeah, it's like the umbrella to everything, and you can't ask me who created you can't ask me who created the Divine, because that's like asking who created God. And we don't even have an answer to that in real life, so I can't really tell you. Okay guys, the meme aside, which ship is better, Omega Aeon or Omega Silver? I think Omega Aeon is probably better, especially canonically, because, like, within the story standards, because they have a lot more, I think they work together a lot better, and they know each other very well. Like, they've worked together, they clearly have, you know, versus Omega, who doesn't meet Silver until, like, the future. So he's, like, probably... I think he and Aeon are, like, 5,000 years at that point, or really close to. They might be nearly 6,000 years old at that point. And 6,000 seems to be a little bit late to be meeting your first love interest. Just putting it out there. Just a tad bit late. I mean, I guess Aeon was like, yeah, shit better canonically. Sorry, I'm talking within a canonical standard. I mean, if I had to pick, like, I would pick Aeon and Omega just because they know each other a lot better, and it feels like it would work more than Omega, who's not met Silver. Like, literally has never met Silver. And then Silver is like an awful person. Like, I don't really see how he would be attracted to her. I mean, of course there will be the alternate universe where he is, but of course in an alternate universe, you just change things, so then they work. But within canon standards, I don't really see Canon Omega having an infatuation with her. Cause like, it's Silver. Why? Why would you? Omega Aeon has literally existed for, like, forever. Omega and Aeon both drifted over to straightness for a bit until they realized that being gay is the way. I wouldn't say they ever drifted over to straightness, but yeah, I definitely did for a time try to cover that up as well. I'll be honest, chat, I won't lie. I did try to cover Aeon Omega up for a little bit because I grew some self-doubt in me, and that self-doubt was gay. So I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't. And then I made Nea and thought that I could have Aeon get paired off with Nea and then have Omega get paired off with Silver. And I thought to myself, that doesn't really work though, because first of all, I wrote Aeon's story super sketchy with Nea, like it didn't make sense. And then secondly, like it didn't make sense why he only wanted to be her friend. Like it didn't make sense. Like he's just a good person, I guess? Like no. Clearly no. Versus Silver, who just, I don't know why she would see anything in Omega realistically. Blasphemy! And so, yeah, I drifted on the straight path for a while, chat, but then I thought, I can probably retcon this, and so I edited Aeon's story with Nea to make a whole lot more sense. Let's be honest, I retconned it again, and it makes so much more sense now that he doesn't share feelings for her. Most likely because he's getting over Omega, like that makes so much more sense. Treason scandal? Like, that makes so much more sense why he wouldn't want to go that far. Because I could see him still wanting to help her, and, like, in his head thinking, yeah, I'll be disconnected from the kid, it's fine. Like, donors are a thing. People do just do that out of the kindness of their heart. But then turning down wanting to be a family, that's, like, personal. He'd have to have a personal reason for wanting to do that. Oh, heck. Lynn, it's okay, you don't have to feel bad about that. Okay, thank you. I do think that it's good that I went through that stage, though, because without that stage and without all of the different changes I've had to make to KK, KK wouldn't be what it is now. And I think what KK is now is very, very good content. And I quite like it. Yeah, I know, right? Donors are a thing, yeah. He's gonna make an omelet! Oh my gosh, he's bringing Kirby in to make an omelet. No, Kirby, no. I think that's all the flat color now. Yay! All the flat color has been done. Look at that flat color. Whew! Might call it here. I don't know if I can go any further. I don't even know if I can make a start on the shading. I'm so tired and done. So tired and done. I probably won't have this page released for a little bit anyways, because I want to make the end of the line first now before I release this. And you guys now don't have to stress about it, because you already see what's going to happen, so you'll be like, yeah, I can wait for this to just hear some voice dialogue. I can wait a bit. So you guys can wait for this for a little bit, and then I can make end of the line. Then I can come back to this afterwards. I think that's a swell idea. I'm not him cooking that radioactive egg. Oh no. I think Omega Silver would only work if Silver got rid of her Rue and became a better person, and if her and Omega became friends first, so she could slowly develop feelings for him. I think you're on the right track. I think Omega Silver could work in canon if one thing changed. One single thing changed. And that thing being that, you know, Silver got off her lazy butt and went and looked for Kirby. Because if she got off her lazy butt and went and looked for Kirby, she probably would have met Omega. And something could have happened. That is the only case in which I think something could have happened, because I don't think anything could happen if they meet later in the future. They have to have met in the past for something to have happened. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. And also if Omega wasn't gay. Oh my gosh. So if she was more like Gold, yeah. If she did what Gold did and tried to find Kirby, you know, there's a chance she would actually find him. Unless they're resistant to radiation, I mean, which I mean, considering they come from that egg, that would make sense. I mean, probably. I don't know, guys, I have a question. I actually have a Kirby, like, lore question, like, normal Kirby lore slash KK Kirby lore. Because I'm taking what happens in Kirby, like, the series to base this on actual KK, right? Answer this question for me. Kirby and them can breathe in space, right? Well, I mean, breathing in space doesn't exist, but they don't die when they're in space, right? Because there are so many scenarios in which Kirby travels from planet to planet on a star and does battle with Mox and Megalore and many others in space. Void Terminus as well, in space. They don't need to breathe air. Can anyone back this? Can anyone just agree with me with this for like a moment? I think Kirby doesn't breathe, correct? Otherwise Kirby would have been dead in Milky Way. That's okay, good, okay. Because I remember having like this conversation with someone who was like very, very for the fact that they do need to breathe in space, and I'm sitting here like, but they just have so many fights in space, like it doesn't make sense. Like he could just go on his warp star to a different planet and like no one would make a big deal about it. Okay, good. Thank you, chat. I needed that. Needed to not think I was being crazy by giving this clearly alien species the ability to not breathe air. Because realistically, Kabi are an alien species. Realistically. Like, oh my gosh. They don't need to breathe air, but can probably breathe carbon or what other gases are in space, but probably can't breathe water. I don't imagine they can breathe water. Only like Laram can breathe water because he's part Kano, you know, he's part fish. But he's also a mammal because he's part whale, but he can kind of breathe water, I guess. Doesn't Meta literally fly from one galaxy to another one in one scene? Yeah. Yeah, he does. Yep. And you know, that whole fight with Galactica just happens on a random asteroid in KK. Like, they ain't breathing. They're just in space. And also at the end of, like, when they fight Void Termina. I think the point this person was trying to make was at the end of, what was it? Planet Popstar. At the end of Planet Popstar, when Kirby's, you know, floating in space, and I can't remember what happens exactly. I can't remember if the robot suit ejects him or not. Something happens. I don't think the cause of concern there was Kirby dying in space. I think the cause of concern there was him drifting into space. Like, unconscious. I think that was the cause of concern, and then of course Meta saves him from that and the mech suit. I think that's the case of, because I genuinely don't think Kirby would like suffocate in space. He just wouldn't. I just think that he would be helpless in space if he didn't have anything to like get him out of space. Even in the Kirby anime, Kirby's casually gone to space to yeet certain enemies to the sun. Oh, very true. Okay, well, seems like this is a consensus. Like, what sort of stuff these Kabis can do? Yeah, it'd feel pretty... Honestly, Kabi would feel pretty underwhelming if they were limited by oxygen. That doesn't feel like an intergalactic species if they're limited by oxygen. I think it'd be fun if we made a KK character's abilities page. I think that would be cool if we need like a character sheet of one of the KK characters, because I don't do that. I don't make character sheets for any of my OCs. I just draw them. But they really should have character sheets that have like their relations. You know, like it'll have their relations and then you can... See, that would actually be really handy, wouldn't it? To help everyone remember all of the character relations and who they're related to and stuff. That would be really handy, I'm now realizing. But I'd have to make like 30 of them. God, we need game theory to confirm this. That would be the best game theory video, actually. Can Kirby breathe, not breathe air? Can Kirby? Holy crap, that would actually be a really good game theory. A template for everyone to look at. That would be so good, actually. I should do that. Maybe I add that to my list. But at what point of the time do we do it, though? That's the question. Surely we do it as the future setting, right? Because then I can add in characters like Ajaz and Kenma and all of the child characters. I can't add them in the present. Does Liam have gills? I think so, but not like on his face. Not all fish have gills right on their face. Some of them have them back on their tails. It just depends. Either that or he's just drinking all of the water that he is inhaling. So an Omega Silver AU Silver isn't lazy. And looked for Kirby. Or looked for his egg to at least bury it. Proper funeral rites, and she would meet Omega. Yeah, probably. So Liam does need oxygen then. He does. The reason he needs oxygen, and this is... so he does need oxygen because he's based on a whale. A narwhal? Those things are mammals. The whales are mammals. So he's part fish, but he's not entirely a fish. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to breathe air, and that wouldn't be too swell. And also in like the kingdom he comes from, that's like deep under the water, they do have pockets of air all littered within it. I don't know if you've seen One Piece, but for anyone who has seen One Piece, I genuinely imagine. Like, the way their houses are like how all of the houses are in Fishman Island. Just, like, super dark, because it's not very bright down there. Or it might be bright down there. Maybe it really is like Fisherman Island. It's like, you go through, like, this massive dark thing, and then there's, like, this big, bright, hidden thing deep underneath it all. Sorry, I'm geeking out into One Piece. Fish do breathe air, they breathe the small pockets of air contained in water. Oh, I see. That makes sense. I've also realized I'm probably done drawing this chat, so I'm just gonna go to just chatting until we're done to end it. Till we're cool to end it. I think I've done this for now. But here, how about I be sneaky and just quickly click onto all of the other sketches for like 5 seconds. There you go. There you go. You can have that's crazy sneak peek content, but you only got to see a second of it. I'm gonna go to just chatting. Whew, heck. 3.5 hours almost. I really need to call it a day, but we just keep finding things to talk about. Whoa, just like that. Yeah, you got a glimpse of it all. Good thing VODs exist. Oh no, I didn't think this through. Oh gosh darn it. Someone's gonna go back. I didn't think this through. I was thinking, haha, they'll just see it for 2 seconds. Oh. Then how dare now everyone would know. Oops. Oops. No, don't end stream. I'm not ready to say goodbye. No, don't worry. We're still here. Lynn, you're a dum-dum. Oops. Oopsie daisy. Oh, it's alright. It's alright. No one's ready. No, it's alright. We're alright. I missed it. What did she say? I said nothing. You would be able to clip it. That's true. No. We're going back to the first Thanksgiving to get turkeys off the menu. Oh my gosh. Koku, I made my own law. I can send it in Discord. Go for it, Rainy. I'll read it when I have time. Whenever that may be. Lynn said nothing, guys. I said nothing. Nada. Nanimo. Nothing. Nothing. Live along with your wives? You're who now? I know what's happening since I got distracted from playing Splatoon 3. That's alright. I wonder how Silver would react to her son being saved by Omega. Well, it's not just her son anymore. It also becomes Omega's son biologically, and you guys will understand why. Pretty weird. So this is actually pretty weird. I never really knew how Kirby and Omega became biologically related, because realistically, blood doesn't make you biologically related to another person. That's not DNA. I was thinking to myself, well, what's gonna happen here? He can't just do a blood transfusion. That's not gonna work, because that's just them having the same blood, not the same DNA. That's quite a different thing. And of course the flashback is going to show it all, but of course he is going to have to donate a bit more than blood. Yeah, blood does contain your DNA. Yes, but it doesn't produce it. It doesn't produce it. He would need to donate stem cells or something. He'd need to donate some cells that create certain DNA. I think what he's probably going to have to do is, because Kirby's egg is probably not in an okay spot. I imagine some of the DNA cells have been damaged, and it's not quite finished being made, but it's lacking certain chromosomes to fully have it made, so it's probably gonna die. So I imagine Omega has to donate the stem cells and chromosomes that are missing, essentially. I made up some really deep lore. Crazy. Omega saved Kirby by donating biological material to save him. Yeah, exactly. So he's gonna have to donate stem cells and etc. It's gonna be a crazy thing. Then you're going crazy. What'd you miss, bro? We're just chatting until I inevitably end stream. So wait, DM can just damage DNA? I think DM was destroying the egg. Would you not agree that if you got, part of your arm cut off, you would be lacking a bit of DNA from it? I kinda think I would be. I think I'd be lacking some DNA in one of my arms, because it is gone. You certainly missed something when you're refusing to tell us what it is. LMAO. Did you say? LMAO, okay, fair? Yeah, no, see? I just imagined that the dark matter was destroying the egg chromosomes because it wasn't finished being made. Lore and brain farts? No, that's actually what this all is. It's just lore and brain farts. You're watching the VOD! Oh no! Ah! Koku said something and everyone's saying that Koku said nothing. I'm gonna look back at the VOD later, and if it's not there, I'm yelling at Koku by doing a commission at a bad time. Koku doesn't draw! What? Koku doesn't draw! I don't draw, you're so right, I don't draw. Hi, Koku doesn't draw. I hope you're not drawing right now. If you are drawing, you have to stop. It's just what has to happen. Lynn, say something not worth saying. Congratulations, chat, we broke Koku. Koku, so Omega is donating, huh? No, he's not. No, he's not donating that. I've just realized what you're saying. No. If you want to know who donates that, it's actually Aeon. Aeon's actually what donates that to Naya. Because they don't have a kid, he's a donor. He's her donor. That's actually true for Aeon. It's actually true. Koku does draw. Koku doesn't draw. Sorry I'm late. What did I miss? Were you busy not drawing? Is that why you're late? Don't worry, we're just chilling and chatting. We're chilling and chatting. Oh god, okay, good. Koku, help! And I think we ended here. I've heard enough, more than enough, actually. Omega donating it would be crazy. But he can't. That's not how that works. What did Koku say? Did I say something? Oh no. Chat, am I in trouble? Okay, at least he didn't donate that. He didn't, don't worry. That's Aeon's story to cover. How can Aeon do that? Well, I don't know. He's magic. He's magic. There you go. If Omega can't. It's not that Omega can't, it's that he didn't have to. That's not what was missing. There was already a developed child in there. You couldn't just put in a new one. This is a crazy end of stream conversation. We couldn't just take out the old child and say, yeah, I have a new one. That wouldn't be right. He had to fix the one that was already in there. It's literally just Aura. It's okay, it's literally just Aura. Oh yeah, Cone's trying to take the wholesome approach. So chat, just so we're clear, these two things exist at the exact same time. There's KK Wholesome and KK the real world. I'm not confirming which is canon, so you can just take it as you want. Either everything is in KK, happens as it does the real world, or everything happens via Aura. You can take it as you want it. I won't confirm either, so you can just live in your headcanon of what is what. I am a scared Arrowheads! Oh my gosh. If I don't know why, I'll do a curse commission and show it to my mother and blame you. Bruh. Aura is way better. I went back and frankly, I'm underwhelmed. Yeah, no, it's not a lot, is it? What did I miss earlier? You just missed me showing a bunch of sketches, like, really briefly, and then I was like, haha, chat, I showed them for 5 seconds, and then Toby was like, oh, thank goodness VODs exist, and I was like, god damn it. That was all that happened. Lynn really leaving it up to imagination in the worst way possible. Yeah, no, I am. I am, because I don't want to think of a whole new reproductive system. That just seems like a waste of time, and I could just use the one that exists. I was clickbaited when I missed a sketch. Lane had a dumb moment. I did. I've just seen the comic banners you leaked. No! Up close. No! Toby knows it all. Toby knows all of it. They've been leaked. Can someone clip the sketches? I have to delete the VODs, all of them. They have to go. I have to save this video. I have to delete the VODs. And then I have to not release the VODs until after those comic pages come out. Spoiler, guys, it has Omega. Crazy. Koku doesn't draw redeem to hydrate. Oh, thank you. I shall not hydrate. No, I'm kidding, I will. Delete this ending, please. They aren't leaks if we say they've been advertised. You know, a smart advertisement to put more interest in it. Ah, yes, nothing more than that. No, please, you showed it intentionally. We must know it exists. Who can say? Oh, goodness. Someone clip it and put it on Discord. Wah! Hey, at least you're not getting it in full quality. It's full, like, full, you know, the full thing. I am dead. Yeah, me too. Me too. This conversation has derailed. Toby did flip the sketches, but as my mod, I like to hope Toby will do the right thing. Well, TBH, Lynn went by so fast with them, I doubt they'd be readable. That is also fair. No, I think they're quite clear, actually. Let's just hope Stream had one of those moments when it, like, glitches or something. I won't leak, of course. Lol, let's go. Alright, chat. We are 3.5 hours in. I didn't think I'd make it this far. I was thinking, alright, I'm calling it at 3 hours. But you guys just kept finding things to talk about. Oh, and you're still doing it. How do Kabi and Waddle Dee reproduce? Is it where they're split into two? They don't do cell division. They don't do cell division. It's just not, it's not what it is. That was quite a fun stream. Sounds like the stream is still on. If you draw the leaks faster, there's less time for it to be classified as a leak. Koku, if you just draw all 3 of those comic pages right now, it's not a leak. You got this. I'm sure I got this. Already calmed down after the reaction. Tableau with the big brain strat, yeah, for real. Now I really want to see Omega Silver content. We love Omega Silver content when it's relevant. Thank you for telling me the leak was 3 comic pages. I think it was 3. I think it was 3. I forget how many I've sketched. So I've sketched 2 fully. 2 are like full sketches. And 1 is just circles that is like a vague. 1 is just vague shapes of where the characters are gonna be, but 2 of them are properly sketched. Lynn, you're a dummy. Aww. Koku doesn't draw. Can I put my Kirby lore on the Discord? Yeah, go for it. Hi, Y. You barely made it to the end of stream. Yeah, we're gonna be ending soon when chat finally lets me end stream and rest in peace. Let me rest in peace, chat! I'll be meeting you in the dark alleyway known as DMs. Oh my gosh. But where should I put the lore? You could put in like media or maybe Kirby art share because I know it's not like Kirby art, but I think that's probably relevant. Or actually no, don't we have a thread that's like other canons, other people's canons? We've got a thread for that, don't we? I swear we do. I swear we have a thread for like other people's canons or like head canons or like lore and stuff. Pretty sure we do. It can go in that thread. Wait, if Koku doesn't draw, is your opposite? Oh no. Then maybe Koku doesn't draw is good to me then. Think Koku doesn't draw is gonna give you empathy versus me who gives you only pain. Cone, you know, after stream, no, it wasn't even after stream, it was on stream when Ikea was like, man, why are you so mean to Cone? He's so cool. And I was like, I'm allowed to be mean to him. I just thought that was so funny. Nosk sounds. Does this count as impersonation? No, I don't think that counts as impersonation. Nothing is sacred. Yeah. Well, welcome Koku doesn't draw, a brand new member to the community who I welcome with open arms, of course, I remember it, it happened right in front of me. You here this whole time. Well, not the whole time, they got here like 11 minutes ago. I mean, you don't appreciate me enough. Sure. Yeah, no, totally. Totally. Okay. Grab sound effects. Koku, leave, now's your chance to go, go, go. Yeah, no, I need a skedaddly, dude. It's over. It's so over for me. You need lesser being lore? I'm gonna be here for 4 hours if I delve into lesser being lore. Chat. We have to wait to an extreme, surely. You're a fugitive now? Oh no. Can I tell you a Hollow Knight pun? Go for it, Rainy. You tell me that Hollow Knight pun. Like, oh, the lizard beings animals, or some of them kabis. It's unlikely that they're kabis. But kabis are apparently quite well known for pairing with as in partner, not like relationship, but like partnering with a lesser being. Like, it's happened so many times. So there's Kano, who just casually partners with like an entire like kabi species race, which is Lyrim's race. And then there's Callistus that partners with like Rosiette and making his whole thing. And then there's Yale, who partners with... who is it? Oh yeah, Yale also does partner with someone, but I've not revealed that. And then I suppose... and then there's Ramiel, who partners with Tora. Like, they just all partner with a frickin' Kabi for some reason. I don't think Alicia Being would be a Kabi, though. Unless you count Seraphina, who could probably transform into a Kabi. So what is Ramiel and Kano's tribes called? And does Seraphina have a tribe? Seraphina doesn't have a tribe. I think the fact that she's abandoned on Dreamland, or not abandoned, but just on Dreamland on her own, probably makes enough sense to that. Meanwhile, I don't know what those names to those tribes are. Oh, no, sorry! What, the Canodians? Yeah, the Canodians are Lyrim's tribe. Canodians. So I imagine Ramiel's tribe probably has something to do with the name Ram, but I just don't know at this point. Ram Millennials. Ram Millennials would be crazy. Only I get to make the shoring shore jokes? Oh, goodness gracious. Chat, we have to call it here. Chat, we're good. I missed the pun? Alright, sorry, yeah, what was the pun? What was the pun? Hold on, I did miss the pun. Look at my puns. Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna tell you a Hollow Knight pun, but I thought it might bug you a bit. Oh ho 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 ho. That's so funny. Koku, read the puns. I did! I read the one pun, the bug pun. That's just a bug pun. It is a bug pun. What do you mean Koku doesn't draw as the real Koku? I'm not gonna lie, this is the most monotone laugh I've ever heard. No offense though. No, don't worry, I understand. I don't have a very... If I, like, do a insane laugh, like, if I really am laughing of joy, I'm probably gonna end up crying, because that's what happens when I laugh too much. Or my laugh sometimes just sounds like I'm crying. It's happened on stream before, it definitely has. I think a good example of this is the first time we had, what was it, keyboard Koku? The first, like, encounter with keyboard Koku, when I was, like, typing the keyboard and everyone was saying, like, the little thing is just, like, it's just going... When everyone was saying that, I, like, couldn't keep it. I couldn't keep it together. I was just laughing so much, and I was just crying and laughing and crying and sobbing. It was just... It's just how I am when I laugh. I get so emotive when I do get emotive, but I'm normally so monotone. It's so funny. See you next drum. Yes, it's finally time, guys. I'm calling it here. 3 hours and 40 minutes, and like all of this time, we've just been talking about lore and different things, and I will admit, it has been amazing. It has been so fun to hang out with all of you guys and just talk about the different lore, not even just within KK, but within just Kirby in general, because we've been talking about a lot of things. It feels like it's been a while since we've had a stream like this, and I genuinely really savor streams like these. I really love them. So I just have to thank you all for just involving yourselves, really, and just getting in with the discussions and all sorts, asking all your questions. I'm sorry you did make a comic page. Hardly. But yeah. It's been forever since we've talked. Yeah, it has been a while. It was fun until the donating part. No, don't worry. I was mostly joking about that, Rainy. It's an aura thing, don't worry. It's not a thing. We're good. I was joking, don't worry. I mean, he does donate a thing for her to have a kid, but it's aura. That's how it works in KK. Anyways, these kinds of streams are chill and fun to watch. I agree. They are very fun. I take things literally. It's okay. Anywho, I'm gonna go now, chat. Let me put us on ending soon. This stream's been really fun, and as I was saying before, you guys are awesome. What if someone redeemed another Dawn of an Era page to drive Koku crazy even more? Oh my goodness, that would actually be brutal. But yeah, I'm gonna head out, chat. What am I gonna do for the rest of today? I need to get some more food, I suppose. And then I'm gonna do those end of the line sketches today because it's kind of in my head now that I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna do those. I have one more page of Dawn of an Era I also want to sketch, so I've got a fair bit of sketching to do today. I probably won't finish that comic page today, though. I don't know if I'll post anything else today, but we'll see. I'm probably just gonna hang around, have a good time, eat some food, and do some sketching. And then hopefully I can work on that other comic page for End of the Line tomorrow. Don't leave me! I'm sorry, Snatchy, I must go. Good nighty, Koku. It is 2 AM, yeah. You'd love to see those sketches? I'm sure you would. The star fan art is super cute. I have some more fan art I've been meaning to add to the little list thing, but we have quite a bit of fan art on it. Speaking of fan art, I do just appreciate fan art. It's honestly amazing. So many cool fan arts out there. You guys are all awesome. I genuinely don't know where I would be without y'all, honestly. It's just so fun. It's just so cool, isn't it? I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna see you all. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'm gonna go. Yee. Bye, bye, everyone. Adios. I'm a skedaddly do. You're all awesome. Bye.